Yeah, welcome in. Welcome back to another episode of the Format Podcast Live, Wednesday edition. Yes. Myself, the Transformer, we're here to bring you that good sports talk. Right now, it looks a little slow in the chat, so that's cool. We'll hold up a little bit, wait for some people to get in here, and then we will get it going. So, yeah, man, what's good, Transformer? While we wait, man.
What's good, my boy? What's happening?
Ain't nothing, man. Trying to make it happen, and a lot going on in the world of sports, man. Hard to keep up with it all, but it's all good.
Boy, I feel like every 10 minutes I got to check my phone for something.
Yeah, man. It's always something. Always something. It's crazy. It is crazy. I think we have we got some good topics here tonight, man. I'm looking forward to talking about this stuff. We got some interesting quick hits, and then we got the topics on the side here. So definitely looking forward to getting into that with the people.
Yeah.
Drama therapy. What's good? How you doing? Good to see you, and I appreciate the love. Definitely.
Absolutely.
Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already.
Drama therapy.
I like that.
I feel like that's a double entendre, ain't it? Like drama and therapy.
It's
I like the name.
Yeah, I'm sure as we get to know drama therapy, we'll find out what's behind that. So
we'll see.
Definitely. Anybody coming in, just make sure you all hit that like and subscribe, and I'm gonna give you my little spiel on that in a minute. Drama therapy, man. Where'd you find the show? Tell us a little bit about that in the chat. Where'd you find the show? In the meantime, looks like we're starting to get some people trickling in slowly. So you know what time it is. If you're here on YouTube and you haven't already, please make sure you go ahead, click that like, that subscribe, that notification bell. Make sure you're kept up to date whenever we drop new content on the channel. If you want the audio-only version of the podcast, open up your audio podcast platform, hit the search bar, type in The Format Podcast, and we should come right up. If you're enjoying the content, make sure you give us that like, that 5-star review, and drop a comment. All that stuff helps us rise in the algorithm, helps us find more sports fans, helps more sports fans find us. And finally, make sure you write it down, put it in your phone, set an alarm, do whatever you got to do to remember. Saturday nights at 7 p.m. we are live here on the Format Podcast, and we'll give you the opportunity to call in, talk to us, get at me. I love it. I can't. Yeah, man, definitely love the opportunity. Really, I love doing these shows. I got my boys with me. Sometimes I have other guests. Sometimes I do it by myself. I love doing these shows, just getting the opportunity to come out here and kick it, give my thoughts on sports. And, I've done this a little bit in a professional setting, not as much as most of the guys you see in the mainstream media, obviously, but I definitely enjoy doing this, man. This is cool. Let's see. Okay.
Man down sports.
That's cool. Probably man down sports, more likely there, but that's all good, man. I appreciate the love. So like we said at the beginning, a lot going on in the world of sports. So I guess we'll go ahead and start, and we'll knock out some of these quick hits, man. So the first quick hit, we had a big fight Saturday night, and Canelo Alvarez, he continues his dominance in the sport of boxing, right? What's that?
So it just completed a dog walk. He had to take his dog out for a walk.
Was it a dog walk though? I don't think it was a dog walk. I think he clearly beat Berlanga, but Berlanga, he hung in there. He tried to fight, but I think it was two things going on there. One, I think the jump in experience and opposition level for Berlanga was just way too much. It's almost funny. Like, remember how young Canelo was when he fought Floyd Mayweather Jr.?
Precisely.
Right. And there was just a huge gap between the two in terms of experience and skill level. And I think that's what you got with Berlanga and Canelo.
No, absolutely, man. I mean, we called it before the fight. That's not the fight that we wanted. What fight we wanted, right?
Absolutely.
But, Berlanga, I believe he was 19 knockouts, like 21-0 or something like that.
22-0, 17 knockouts. His first 16 fights were first round knockouts.
Exactly. So he, big puncher, power puncher, but like I said, who his competition was. And you look at his previous fights, he's just a gunslinger, you know what I mean? Just going for haymakers, knocking cats out. If you look at Canelo's fighting structure, he's a counter puncher. He learned that very, very well from Floyd. Like, oh man, I don't have to sit back and go back and forth with you all day. I could just sit back and wait on that counter. And that's exactly how Berlanga ended up on the floor. He waited on that counter. He was just he sat right there in front of him and hit him with a check hook. Like
he did.
You know what I mean?
But
Berlanga's like, God dang it.
Yeah, he was upset he got caught by that.
Man. He got me.
Right, but Canelo's incredible, and I'm not a huge fan of Canelo, but his mastery of counterpunching kept Berlanga from coming forward and really letting go the way he wanted to, because as we saw, like you said, that counter, it can get you real quick. Nice fight for Berlanga. I think he is something to look forward to. I mean, really, at 168, you're probably not going to see it, but how good would a Berlanga and David Benavidez fight be, right? Obviously, we want to see Benavidez and Canelo, but Berlanga and Benavidez would be quite good as well, I think,
No. I think it would be. I think it would be, man.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, we see that the tide is soon to be changing. Canelo's getting to that last realm, those last 2 to 3 fights. I mean, he's at a point in his career he can pick his own fight, but once he starts weaning out of the boxing world, then we're trying to see who's next. So I think those fights are definitely going to be huge in the future.
I agree. Yeah, man. It's so Canelo did what most of us most of us boxing fans, and I think most of the boxing experts expected him to do. He won fairly easily, but again, Berlanga gained some respect because he did come to fight, and he didn't back down. So I think the future is bright for the kid. He clearly wasn't ready. I mean, that's all there was to it, right?
It's only so much you can do when a dude is just tactful, like we said, Canelo just has that much more level of experience, and it was like I said, it was adult. Like he's teaching them, like, hey, bro, like
you're not ready
all
yet.
That swinging, all that, trying to just throw for power all day. You might want to learn how to counter punch, because that's exactly how I got you. I feel like when he knocked him down, that just woke Berlanga up for the rest of the fight. Like, you know what? I cannot just constantly
I gotta be careful
swinging at him. You know what I mean? Because he's just, if you look at it, Canelo's just sitting back waiting, hands up. I'm waiting on it. So it was a good teaching lesson, man. Canelo was in the same shoes 10 years ago against Floyd.
That's right.
He's just returning the favor, man.
Yeah. It's funny how life works, isn't it?
Hey, full circle.
Yeah. So real quick, it's funny. I guess the question is, and we're not going to get too into this because this is just a quick hit, but you got to wonder, like, what's next for Canelo, right? Because he knows that he's the A side. He's pretty much the face of boxing. He can pretty much do what he wants to do. And so he's already made it clear he's not going to fight Benavidez. I don't respect that at all. That's terrible.
We want it, man.
He said he may
Mexico, for real.
He said, that's terrible. He said he may he may be looking at the winner of Dmitry Bivol and Artur Beterbiev. And I'll tell you what, Bivol Beterbiev, that's going to be a fight, man. Woo! Bivol is super skilled and has some power too. And Beterbiev is just an absolute animal, 20-0 with 20 knockouts. So I can't wait to see that fight. That comes on in about 3 weeks. I think October 14th or something like that. So definitely looking forward to that. It's going to be a huge one. And then, again, how that plays out in terms of who the winner of that fights, whether it's Benavidez or whether it's Canelo Alvarez or what, or does Canelo take the fight that he probably will win just because of the size differential against Terrence Crawford? It'll make big money.
I don't know why I keep ready to call him Jamal Crawford.
Because Crawford.
Call it Jamal Crawford.
Yeah.
But no, I think Terrence is at least, he needs another fight or two. He definitely. I mean, and I think he saw that when he fought. Who did Terrence just fight? I forgot.
Oh, Majimov. Israel Majimov.
Yes. And the size difference. He saw that, it takes a whole lot more. It's a little bit weight on your body.
You realize the power is not the same when you go up.
Exactly. So I think, and even his tune change, if you looked at the post-fight interview, when they asked him, about fighting Canelo, he was like, I'm going to sit back on my team, that whole blase, it kind of dulled down because now you got to weigh that in that ring, man. It's different, man. I tell people all the time, that 5 to 10 pounds, you walking around with it, it's different. But when you got to fight with it,
you got to carry that. And if you bulked up and got more muscle, now your body has to pump more blood to feed all that muscle.
Exactly.
And you got to carry the fatigue, more oxygen, and then you got to think about the power that you had at a lower weight class. Is it doing the same damage to bigger guys and all that? So looking forward to see what happens with Canelo. Let's go ahead to next quick hit. I don't know how quick hits always take so long for us, man. I think we dive
right into the topic, man. We make it a topic, bro.
I know, right? All right. So the second quick hit tonight, this was a surprise, right? I guess it's the final quote unquote Woj bomb, right?
Man.
Yeah. NBA insider Adrian Wojnarowski retires from ESPN to become the general manager of the basketball operation at St. Bonaventure University. Your thoughts on that? I know what my thoughts are. What do you? St. Bonaventure University. It's in New York. I can't remember if it's in the city or upstate, but it's in New York though.
Okay, man.
I had a teacher in high school that went there.
When I saw it, man, I thought he was leaving the country. I was like, I never heard no stuff.
Did you?
I thought it was out of the country, man. That's so funny. Shout out them folks at what Bonaventure,
St. Bonaventure, yeah,
Bonaventure, man. Shout out them folks, man. This is a bro. He dropped a nuke, like damn the bomb. He was like, I'm leaving with a Woj nuke, man. Like that's crazy for the sports world, bro. I mean,
is he alum?
Huh?
Is he alum?
At Bonaventure?
Yes, he is. He's St. Bonaventure alum, class of 91. Okay.
Oh, he gets to go be the GM. That's actually pretty dope for him.
Yeah, it is cool.
Because I was wondering why he picked it.
Because I went to their website and he's on the online journalism page of their website. So I was like, is he alum? There you go.
He went back to his home school, man.
Yeah,
that's dope, man.
It's a beautiful thing.
It's beautiful for him, man. Like I said, we're gonna miss him. I think that leaves what Shams, a couple of what's his name?
I know the black guy you're talking about. I cannot remember. Yeah. Chris Haynes.
Chris Haynes. Yeah, Chris Haynes. So Chris Haynes, Shams, they're gonna be the ones that kind of, taking over the basketball announcements. We may see eventually a third guy pop up and jump into the Rams. Now that Woj is gone, man. We used to those Woj bombs, bro.
Yeah, man.
Like when you see Woj and that alarm on your phone pop up from off Twitter, click it.
That's right. Yo.
What happened? So it's crazy, bro.
Yeah. St. Bonaventure's in upstate New York, by the way. So
okay.
But yeah, so before we move on, I'll just give my thoughts on why he did that. Number one, I mean, he dropped a number of, huge stories year after year, right? For a long time. But I really think that he's probably just tired of, competing with Shams Charania and, like you said, Chris Haynes and these younger guys now who are, and think about it, right? A guy like Shams, I think he's clutch. And I think Chris Haynes might be clutch too.
I know Chris Haynes is.
Okay. I believe Shams is too.
Is Shams?
I believe he is. Yeah. But so that's gonna give you a heads up, right? And so Woj is probably like, damn, I don't feel like fighting with these guys for the scoops all the time. He's done it for a long time. I'm sure he's made a ton of money. And so now, like you said, he can go home, he can kind of do his thing, he can mentor young journalists, etc., and be involved in the basketball culture of his school. So I think it's probably a really good fit for him. And
man, we're happy for him, man. We're happy for him. Like I said, it's just shocking, bro. It's just shocking that it's just the Woj bomb was him leaving.
Yeah. Right.
He didn't even break it. Now it'd have been dope if he broke it. It'd been like, okay, I'm announcing I'm retiring. You know what I mean? Like the final Woj bomb.
Woj bomb.
They're going back to the Lakers. We made a last second signing. I forget his name. I think it's a play center. And that was literally the last thing he announced. And so now that's starting to circle the waves of dang, his final Woj bomb was something dealing with the damn Lakers. And so everybody's like, man.
So check this out too, right? He's only 55. So what if he is kind of putting himself in training to possibly be an NBA GM?
NBA GM. Yeah, that makes sense.
Right. He knows the league inside out. He knows the players. He knows most of the front office people. He knows the owners. Maybe he's positioned himself for a move like that.
Could be.
Yeah.
Everybody love you.
That's it. All right.
You got a home no matter way, man.
No doubt. So this was a story. I don't even know how it managed to come across my timeline or whatever. I just wanted to bring this in, and I wanted to pay homage to one of the greatest to ever do it. One of those guys that wore that ugly, terrible purple and gold uniform, but don't do it. Here we go, man. He always got it, man. Doing too much. So anyway, I wanted to pay homage to one of the greatest to ever do it. So this story came across my timeline, and back in February of 2009, I believe, right? There was a 3-game stretch in 1 week where I want to say 2009, the defending champion Boston Celtics were going to New York to play against the Knicks in the Garden, right? And in that same week, LeBron and the Cleveland Cavs were going there to play the Knicks, and also the Lakers were going there to play the Knicks. And nobody was really talking about the Lakers, even though they had
y'all had to play too. Y'all had a game that week. Y'all had to play the Knicks.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, all three.
Yeah. Yeah,
So you
okay.
had
I
the
hear you say
Cavs, the
Boston. My bad.
Celtics, and the Lakers all in that week, right?
Yeah.
And nobody was really talking about the Lakers. And I think at that time they were like second best record in the West and one of the best records in the league.
We were first. We were first in the West. I believe our record was 32-8, 32-9, 32-9.
What up, G? What up, Brandon? What up, man?
What up, dummy?
You, Edward. What's good, bro? But
What
yeah, so
up, dummy?
at the time, right, everybody was talking about LeBron, right? The media blitz with LeBron trying to do what he does was in full swing, right? I'm not gonna say at that point he was at the peak of his powers, but he was really, really good at that point. And I think the Cavs ended up with the best record in the league that season. They were like, what is it, 66-18, whatever? 66-14, 66-16. There we go. 66-16, right? They won 66 games that year. And so everybody was talking about LeBron, because if you remember, that was the year that Nike did the puppet commercials with LeBron and Kobe in advance of the finals, and it didn't end up happening. But anyway, so yeah, everybody was talking about this, and Kobe's like, wait a minute, nobody's talking about us? Nobody's talking about me? I just read this article today. And so Kobe got upset. And he went to Madison Square Garden, and Kobe did this. Kobe did what Kobe does, set the then single game scoring record for Madison Square Garden, and scored 61 points that night. I mean, went off.
Balled out of control, man.
Man, listen. So if you know me, you know I'm a Celtics fan since I was 8 years old. If you watch this show, you know I'm a Celtics fan. I try to be objective, man. But
that's crazy.
But this dude, Kobe, that move right there, I love that spin pivot into the jump shot. This dude, Kobe, man, was, I mean, you know how I feel about Kobe. As much as I hate his uniform, you know how much respect I have for that dude. And, I think, it was he blessed us all those years with performing in front of us and allowing us to watch the best basketball player. You know what I'm saying? And so, I saw that story come across. So I was like, we'll do that for a quick hit, man. Because I wanted the opportunity to play that video and to talk about it a little bit. And just, to me, I think one of the craziest things that shows how elite of a basketball player somebody is when they get annoyed and they just decide, okay, I'm just going to go off, right? Like, you can get hot and have a good game, right? You could get hot, maybe have a good series. But to say that somebody did something to annoy you, so you just decide to turn it on.
Yeah.
Like
against the Knicks.
Right. Like,
he might this time it wasn't Spike Lee. Normally Spike Lee is like the normal culprit of like, oh man, why this team is busting our ass. I mean, why this guy's busting my team like that. Like normally Spike, but Spike Lee on the side, I'm like, bro, you got it.
Right.
It wasn't even me this time.
And I mean, it's like I said, it's one thing to say you get hot, but to say, wait a minute, what? Okay, I'm gonna go in there and show him something. Because, they might have he might have 35, 40 anyway, typical Kobe, right? Big game in the Garden. But to say, all right, I got you. And to go in there with the deliberate attempt to do what he did, and the deliberate intent, do what he did, and then he did it. Impressive, man. So G says Mike did it first. Yeah, no, absolutely agree. No question about
it. Mike had what, 50, 58?
Mike had 55 in the Garden in his comeback year when he was 55. Still wearing 45.
Yeah, but that's actually Mike didn't do it. So because Kobe got 61.
Well, so no. What he's saying is Mike did it first in terms of somebody pissing him off and then him flipping the switch and turning it on.
Oh yeah.
But there are very few players who are truly capable of doing that, right? So and Kobe is among them. So I'm just like I said, I wanted to get a dude some love, some flowers. Obviously, he's no longer with us. God bless the dead. But we are thankful that we got to watch that dude for all those years, man. So
yeah. And I mean, we literally saw one of the
Celtics fan talking,
one of the hardest working players you're ever going to see in history. Like, I mean, his mentality worked on the court, and people took it off the court, like with everything. Like me, that's my idol. To this day, I remember crying like a little girl back in 2020 when the announcement broke that he perished in that helicopter accident. But he was the pinnacle of, look, I may not be the most, I wasn't bred the best talent, most gifted athlete, but I'm about to work my ass off.
I'm going to get every drop out of my natural ability.
Every drop, like every game, you're going to get the best me. Like, you know what I mean? Like there was no other way of just being a pure dominant player.
Facts.
Without having the dominant force behind you. Like, Kobe wasn't the fastest. He wasn't the strongest. He wasn't the tallest. He wasn't the longest, but he worked and defined his game to a point to where he was literally feared. You didn't want to play Kobe.
Yeah.
When he got that look in his eye and that what do you call that? Half eye when you can't open your eye all the way. Lazy eye. There you go. When that lazy eye get to work, when that lazy eye get to working, you're like, oh snap, he bite the jersey. Oh, it's a wrap. It's a wrap, man. But
and honestly, how I look at that, right? And this is I gotta say this, and it's not to take a shot or whatever, but if we're real, that's one of the biggest differences between he and LeBron. Like, yes, has LeBron done incredible things in his career? Yes. Does he have all the tools and all the natural gifts? Absolutely. But I don't believe he has worked as hard as Kobe to maximize himself as a basketball player. And I think that's one of the biggest differences. You can see the difference in skill set, but that's a whole different argument for a different day. So yeah, I just wanted to show Kobe some love, man, because
absolutely,
the dude was that freaking good. All right, the Mamba. All right, let's get it, man. So all right, let's get to it, man. So week two wrap up. Yeah, this was let me go ahead and pull this up so we can run through these real quick. Week two was, I tell you, so y'all know I love college football, right? You know I love college football, Transformer, but I think you look at the NFL, man, you hardly see blowouts, right? A blowout is a 10-point win in the NFL. There is so much parity, and most of these teams are so freaking good. So just watching these games, like, you almost always get a good game, and it's just a pleasure to watch. Like,
no, absolutely.
You saw Tampa Bay and Detroit basically come down almost to the wire, right? You saw Green Bay and Indianapolis, another close one. Your guys, the Jets and the Titans, another close one. Minnesota, San Francisco, like, so many of these games were so close. Seattle and New England went into overtime. Like, these games were
the Monday night game
really good, huh?
Kirk Cousins with the game winning drive Monday night. It ended off with a nail biter.
Las Vegas and Baltimore, like, these games are so good and they were so entertaining. Week two trashed everyone's picks. What's up,
bro? I don't mean to cut you off, man. Let's not speak about the R team while G is in the chat. Let's wait for G to leave. Then we can talk about that R team. We don't want to talk about the R team, right?
We got to talk about we're gonna spend a whole segment on that in the second topic. So we got to
be prepared, chat.
No, I mean, listen, we got to do that. We got to be objective. I mean, that team is a lot of teams Super Bowl favorites, and right now they're not playing like it, but we'll get there. So what would you say was kind of your game you enjoyed most, or outside of Green Bay, or
okay, because that was gonna be my answer.
Maybe your biggest shocker for the weekend. What do you think?
My biggest shocker was Dallas getting torched.
Yeah, didn't see that coming.
That was my big one. I mean, like, literally, you let these folks score 6 consecutive touchdowns.
That's not supposed to happen in the NFL.
Like, with a defense like that, Micah Parsons on that line, like, how are y'all letting these guys score?
Can I give you a quick hot take?
I
give you a quick hot take? Micah Parsons, they're going to max him out kind of because they have to. Micah Parsons is overrated, bro. Where is he against better teams? If you look up his numbers against better teams, he disappears. Micah Parsons, overrated.
You heard it here, guys. Micah Parsons is overrated.
Yeah, well, he's been in the playoffs twice.
And then I don't think he has a postseason.
He does not. He does not.
He definitely didn't get one last year.
Nope. That's what I'm saying. Where does he go when he plays against the better teams? Oh, here you go, man. Oh my! How many hats you got over there, man?
There we go. Look good. Okay, there.
No doubt, brother. No doubt. Oh man.
But no, man. That was my shocker of the week. Like I just said, like, yes, New Orleans did it the first week. I believe they played Carolina. But we all know something like, it's Carolina. We like Carolina is literally gunning for the number 1 pick again. So we didn't think that they would even stand a chance. But when you go in Dallas has given up 92 points,
right,
in back-to-back home games.
Yo,
I mean, I'm not saying it, but that's bad, bro.
Yeah,
I mean, that's bad. Yeah. So, especially being game 2. Your GM / owner going to run around the whole offseason saying we're all in.
We're all in, man.
What you all in about, man?
Nobody believes that dude when he's talking, man. Nobody believes that dude.
You did nothing with your roster, and yet you got your behind cooked. Game one at home. I mean, not game one, but your first game at home, and you get cooked. Like, that's man, right. But that was my shocker, man. What about you?
No doubt. So real quick, Brandon Bryce, man, I see you. You did. You said it last week in the chat. When we did the previews, you said Kirk Cousins in Washington.
Yeah.
I don't know how you saw that coming, but you did. So shouts to you for getting that one, hitting that nail on the head.
He got lucky with Kirk Cousins, though.
He said it though. He said it. He said it in his chat, this other chat that I'm in with him. So he didn't just come here and say that. Like he's real with it. Laker Nation says college football is killing it, so the NFL has to keep up. I think that's vice versa. Here you go. Oh my God. Yo, you crazy, man. No, but I think it's no, at the end of the day, man, it's you got that in reverse, Laker Nation. College football is great. I love college football. I really do. But NFL is king, man. They say that for a reason. That's no joke. Back to it though. My biggest surprise, honestly, I really didn't see what's his name? The Rams getting smoked by Arizona the way they did. Was that 41-10? I did not see that.
Yeah, I mean, but that team, dog, their entire team is on injured reserve now.
Yeah. I mean, they're dealing with a lot of stuff.
Offensive line, you lose both your receivers, top tier receivers at that. Like Puka Nacua,
and Cooper Kupp,
and Cooper Kupp. Like, come on, man, you lose both your receivers. Your line is already beat to hell. Either they suspended or they on IR or they hurt. Yeah. You lose a safety, you lose a corner. But Matt Stafford might as well retire, man. He might as well just call it right now. Like, you know what?
Hey, Matt Stafford, like, I'm gonna keep collecting these checks.
Hey, that's real.
Anywhere.
That's real.
Yeah. Nah,
but that was a big shocker, man. Kyler Murray and Marvin Harrison Jr., they definitely made. I think they made a great purpose of really making him the focal point.
Yes.
Because week one we were like, okay, you guys drafted that, like one of the best talents, arguably the best receiver talent in the draft.
130 receiving yards.
You gave the man nothing, but now that he went out there and cooked.
Yeah. He looked like the Marvin Harrison Jr. that we know.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
just like his dad.
Yeah, no doubt. And the second one that really shocked me was Minnesota beating San Francisco. I was like, wait, what?
That was a good one.
Like, are you kidding me? Especially after how good San Francisco looked in week one. And then they go to Minnesota and they lose that game. I'm like, come on, man. Y'all got Sam Darnold out here looking special. I mean, he's going to come back to earth. We know that. But I was like, you got to be kidding me, man.
Eventually, the plane got to land in Minnesota. And,
definitely.
Sam Darnold's time is coming. I mean, a good half of his yards came off of one play to Justin Jefferson. What was it, a 96 or 95 yard
that
touchdown?
bomb that he threw.
Yeah. So, granted, he did that, but it was a lot of just weird losses, like Dallas losing, Philly losing, San Fran losing. Who else lost that we the R team that I don't want to mention because Gino's in the chat. I don't want to mention them losing. It was a bunch of what's happening? Like the Raiders? Like Minnesota?
This is the NFL, man. This is not college. Anybody can win any week.
That's true. That's real. Right? But
that's
in that type of fashion. You know what I mean? Like, I guess that's just me, man.
No doubt, Laker Nation. Didn't see Vikings going 2-0 and Lions going down. Absolutely. Well, actually, the second part of that statement, I actually picked Tampa Bay because I thought that, they would have some hunger, especially coming off losing that playoff game in Detroit. And it pretty much went down to the wire, but, they're doing their thing as well. My guy Baker Mayfield is playing very well. I'm a big
Baker guy now. He's your guy now?
I'm a Baker fan.
Oh, you're a Baker maker?
Yeah, I've been a Baker fan since Oklahoma. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I want to see him do well. He hasn't always been blessed with the best situations, but
Now that I agree with.
He feels at home now, and you can see he's balling. I
think the best, and I think Tampa not Tampa, but the Rams did him a great service.
Yes.
By allowing him to be around good players, some weapons, great coach. And Sam, I keep wanting to say San Fran, but Tampa saw that and was like, okay,
we'll take that.
If we give him the weapons, he's okay. It's just Browns. I mean, Browns are going to brown it up. Carolina, horrible place to be.
Well,
when
people act like
resurgence.
People act like they forgot that Baker won a playoff game in Cleveland. That was the first playoff win in 25 years or something like that. It was a long time. So I mean,
I'm thinking of Dallas. I think
he didn't get him a Super Bowl, but he got him their first playoff win in quite some time, and people act like that didn't happen. A lot of people dislike Baker for whatever reason, but he did it. He was all right over there. He had his issues, but he was all right.
No. He definitely wasn't in the right situation. Like I said, the Rams put him in a better situation. I mean, fortunately for him, Matt Stafford went down for him to have that opportunity. So it was the perfect time for him to showcase, what he could do on the field. You put the weapons around me, I can be a threat. I'm a great quarterback. What you saw at Oklahoma is legit. What you saw in my first rookie season is legit.
Right.
And just Cleveland just couldn't put the weapons around me. They tried to make OBJ work, but he was too much of a big presence, demanding the ball. Then the drama came, and Baker was like, okay, and the Browns couldn't really get that together. So, unfortunately, and then he went to Carolina, and like, what's in Carolina for Baker to showcase his talent?
Right.
So I'm just happy he got that opportunity.
Yeah. And I think he'll be okay. I think what he just signed 3 years in Tampa, right?
3 years.
So, he'll be there for a little minute. CJ Stroud just continuing on. Caleb Williams facing some rookie struggles right now. I think he's too good to continue to be bad, but
I think that
Eberflus is going to get fired. I mean, that's what that is.
Absolutely. And if they don't get a line sometime soon, they're going to lose Caleb Williams for a season. Guaranteed. You can't let that man get touched like that, like every second or third down. Downplayed, excuse me, not like second or third down as in terms.
No, I got you.
Like any second or third play he's playing, he's getting touched. Like, come on, man. Like, granted, he may like to get touched. He does paint his fingernails, but that's besides the point. The Bears.
Wow. Was he going to those parties?
I don't think that would he's not overrated or overhyped.
No, he wasn't.
I think that right now the line is just isn't there. The offense they're calling is just isn't there. You can't establish a run game if you're operating the entire game out of shotgun. You can't blame him for throwing interceptions when he's running for his life the whole time. Like,
so what you're saying is he's feeling what Justin Fields was feeling.
Precisely.
In Chicago. Okay, just
precisely. So and we're seeing Justin Fields do a pretty solid job over there in Pittsburgh. He has a decent line behind him, and he's learning an offense as he goes. And I think he's not turning the ball over. They're winning games, so I think that's good enough for him, and I think he could develop over there. But like I said, what we're seeing from Caleb, I mean, I'll tell you one thing: we overhyped that how fast that he played at USC, and he realized these guys over here, D tackles running 4.6, 4.5, 4.4.
All of a sudden, he don't look so fast anymore, right? He's not out here making people look stupid. Yeah,
precisely.
No doubt.
So he scrambled out of that pocket, and that lineman right there on his hip. He's like, yo.
Right.
Then he, like I said, I saw some careless throws that the interceptions that he threw, they were under pressure. He's out of the pocket. He's just trying to make a play. And granted, he needs to understand, like, hey, bro, you can't do that in the NFL.
No,
just because that guy looked open, these guys are scheming you and fooling you.
Yeah.
And thinking that they open, but they can hawk these balls down.
That's right.
And pick them off like they did. So no, I don't think he's over.
And I think the other thing is, number one, he's too physically gifted. I don't think he's going to be a bust. I don't. He has too many tools. We know how well coached he was in college. He's got everything. He just needs to be in the right situation. So once Eberflus gets out of there and they overhaul that coaching staff and get him in a system that works better for him, and now at the same time as a rookie, he is learning that things are not nearly as easy on this level.
Yeah, no, that's for sure. That's for sure. Especially when you don't have a line. You don't have a line. Like a lot of people will fail in that situation. We saw Pat Mahomes go to the Super Bowl. Once you took away his offensive line, he was
human.
He was human. Like literally, he was running for his life, and that's right now. That's what Caleb's going through. He's running for his life. Like, yes, the weapons are there. I mean, they're going through a few injuries. I believe the rookie's hurt. I want to say the rookie's hurt for. I think he's on IR maybe 2 or 3 weeks. Keenan Allen was hurt, but you still got
No, Dunze played in that game. He played.
Did he get hurt though?
Do a lot, but he played. Hurt. He may have got hurt during the game, but he played.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Like he got hurt. So and I don't think Keenan Allen played. So you're down him.
No, he didn't.
And but like I said, you still got other weapons. You still got DeAndre Swift. and pieces there. Cole Kmet still there. Like, you know, you have pieces there, but he doesn't have time to sit in the pocket and just like, okay,
right,
have that time to think. You know, by the time 2 seconds is up, he's already scrambling out of the pocket. So, yeah.
So one of the knocks on him, even in college, was that he breaks structure too often, looking for the fantastic play instead of just taking the simple one. So he's going to have to learn that. But again, I am no Caleb fan. Anyone who knows me knows that. However, the guy's just too good to fail. I think they just need to put a good coaching staff around him. He'll be fine.
Why aren't you a Caleb fan, brother?
I am not a Caleb fan because he played for USC, and I am a diehard Notre Dame Fighting Irish fan. And 2 years ago in the LA Coliseum, he made my Irish look absolutely stupid and clinched
did he?
on them guys.
What? Oh, what was the score? Do you remember?
I don't remember the score, man. You want to be funny? I really don't remember the score. I've been trying to black it out, but I still have nightmares about it. But no, he was incredible in that game, man. He really was.
Yeah, he was, man.
But I'll say last year when Caleb came to South Bend to play Notre Dame, that defense harassed him into his worst ever college football game. So he played terrible. I think he had like 3 picks, and one of them was a pick 6. He was just bad. And that ended up ruining his season and USC season. So I was pretty happy about that. But no, in all seriousness, Caleb, he's got everything that you need to succeed. It's going to take a little time. And I think CJ Stroud kind of spoiled it for quarterbacks coming in because they watched him walk in and basically dismantle the league as a rookie, but he was special. Everybody can't do that. So,
There we go. My apologies, guys. My real estate phone was ringing.
Laker Nation says this Tua's career over after this last concussion. Actually, last episode we talked about Tua at length, so you can go back and check that out. Tua
Please do, Laker Nation, man.
Yeah. I'll keep it brief. Tua says that he says that he doesn't have any intention of not continuing to play, but obviously he has to go through the things with medical and all that. So. It's going to be what it's going to be. We'll find out. We wish him the best, and we hope that it doesn't get worse, and we hope that he's able to stay healthy and continue to play at a high level. That's all we can say.
No, absolutely, man. If you definitely want us to dive into that more, Laker Nation, like I said, go back and look at our last video. We dove into it quite a bit. We all gave our thoughts about it. Prayers for him, though. We hope that he, in these next 3 to 4 weeks, he's on IR now. He takes that time to think. And like I said, I mean, the doctors are going to doctor. If they clear him,
yes, they are going to doctor.
What can you do, man? That's just his choice, man. But
yeah, no doubt. All right, so let's do this. At this point, kind of we're good on the week 1 wrap up. Again, just an incredible week.
Whoa! Time out. Whoa!
What I miss? Whoa! My bad. What I miss?
Whoa! What we not about to do?
My bad.
What we not about to do? While I'm sitting here and I'm on this channel, right? I'm on this page. All right, the Format Podcast.
Yeah.
And I got a hat that is green. And it's green and it has a G. And we're not going to talk about how we just took Malik Willis out of Tennessee.
You did.
Got him, right? He's been on the team for maybe 2 weeks and maybe 3 hours and 44 minutes. But when I didn't have him a game.
He went out there and
had him a game. Okay.
He did.
If I gained any ounce of respect for my coach, Matt LaFleur, it went through the roof that game. He knew what the problem was, and he knew what strength we had. And boy, did he exploit the hell out of it. I mean, I never seen a Green Bay game so one-sided offensively to where we're running the ball 25 times and we passed it 5.
That's beautiful.
That's beautiful. And it was working. It was working. We were getting about 5, 6, 7, 8 yards a clip against and what I thought was going to be a great Indianapolis Colts defense. They couldn't stop us.
Right.
They couldn't stop us. Josh Jacobs pretty much had 100 yards before the halftime. You know what I mean? Now, granted, we could have put the game out of reach. He did fumble in the end zone. And that took 7 points off the board. But I did like what we did with the team. We used our strength, and that really did open things up on the field for Malik Willis to make a couple of good plays when needed on 3rd down. He had a scramble for one, a good first down. And I think that just builds up your confidence, especially for a guy like Malik Willis, where you just didn't really get the opportunity that you wanted in Tennessee.
Yeah.
It just wasn't a great situation for you. I think Matt LaFleur literally just put a scheme in place for him to succeed. And I think that's what coaches need to do for these newer players. Put them in a situation for them to succeed. We can't expect these first round picks to go out here and throw 30 passes and let them learn from their mistakes. Like, no, man, put them in places for them to succeed. Let them see the field, understand the offense, establish a run game. Let's get the run game going, because obviously without no run, we're not going to have a good passing option. All they got to do is just, safety's going to sit back, linebacker's going to sit back. We're just going to sit and play zone and see if this rookie can learn his own. So, but yeah, man, I just wanted to, before we wrap that up.
No doubt. Respect, dude.
Shout out my team. You know what I mean?
No doubt. Yeah. Got love for that. That's real.
Yes, sir.
And while Jordan Love is out, to your point, this is going to be a really good opportunity for Malik Willis to learn from one of the better offensive coaches in the league, and just have his opportunity to even hopefully get some good tape out there, because he may not be with Green Bay next year. Who knows? But play the best you can, get some good tape out there, get real meaningful game reps. So good luck to him.
No, absolutely. He might have another opportunity. They said Jordan Love is back at practice.
Okay,
so they're gearing up for him to possibly play week 3. I don't think he will.
I don't know why you would rush it.
Exactly. So
you're 2-0. You're not 0-2. Nah, you don't need to rush that.
We're 1-1. We lost against Philly. We won. That's when Jordan Love got hurt.
That's right. Okay, my bad.
Yeah. He got hurt in the last game. It's when Jordan Love got dropped. Yeah. Right.
So check this out. Before we open up the phone lines, I meant to mention this, so it's a good thing you reeled me back in. Quiet as kept. We all thought that NFC South was going to be the worst division in football. You got what appears to be 3 good teams in that division, right? Atlanta's 1-1, and they didn't get smacked by Pittsburgh. They lost that game close. We see Tampa Bay's 2-0. New Orleans is out here looking like a laser light show, right?
They've got 82 points in 2 games,
something crazy like that, right? So I'm like, whoa, what's going on here? So I just wanted to shout that out, give some love to the NFC South, because I thought there was going to be just a dumpster fire of a division, but they're out
now
here playing some ball.
Still can't, things can still happen. It is only week 2, so we're not.
No, Brandon Bryce. I'm not going to talk about the Commandos, bro. No, good win, but the Giants are terrible, so we'll see. We'll see what y'all got going forward.
Is Brandon a Washington fan?
He is. He
sure
is.
That's why he keeps
I know Brandon since 9th grade.
I'm seeing you in the chat, brother. You hyping up them Commandos.
Listen, he don't play with his Commanders, man. He does not. I've known this dude since 9th grade. He does not play with his home teams.
Damn, so he's been hurting since the 9th grade.
No, he hasn't been hurting since the 9th grade, because what was that, 92?
That was an exaggeration.
Yeah, Washington won the Super Bowl that year, if I'm not mistaken.
It's been a long time.
Yes, it's been a long time. All right, cool. So let's go ahead. We'll open up the phone lines now. I'll put the number in the chat, and it's scrolling on the bottom of the screen. So 904-219-8264. 904-219-8264. Go ahead, give us a call. We'd love to hear from you. Tell us what you thought was maybe the best game of the weekend, the biggest surprise or takeaways you have from week 2. And then we'll get on to the second topic. But we definitely want to hear from you on this. 904-219-8264. Laker Nation says, I hate to see it, but the Chiefs might three-peat. Wow. Okay.
Well, you're not wrong.
They might. They know how to win. However, we've thought that before, right? We've thought that about the Patriots. We've thought that about the 49ers, right? There have been other teams who have gone back to back. I think we thought that about the Denver Broncos, didn't we? With Shannon Sharp and Terrell Davis.
Not Joe Mixon. Jesus Christ.
Terrell Davis.
No, I'm trying to say
what do you think
John Elway.
Well, you know what? Actually, no, because John Elway, I was wrong. John Elway retired after that second Super Bowl win. So I don't think anyone thought that they were
that is correct. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and get this call from Edward Jackson. Format Podcast. What's up, Edward?
Here we go. Stand by.
Hey, what it do, y'all? What's going on?
What's good, man?
Here we go. What's going on, bro?
What's
Here
up,
we go.
Man? Hope y'all having Have a good night tonight. Nah, man. I told y'all, I'm gloating right now. Just let me have my moment. My Steelers are 2-0, leading
They
that
are.
division,
They
AFC
are.
North.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, but yeah. So my biggest takeaway from week 2 was man. I know Gino and Bruce, y'all in the comments. Hey, man, don't go off, bro. It's Gardner Minshew, man, mustache, bro. He took over the game, man.
Oh boy.
So that was my biggest takeaway. I really thought y'all had that game. But so like, do y'all think that Derrick Henry needs more carries?
So
I mean,
all
what's
right,
going on?
I wanna answer your question, but if you can see on the rundown, we're gonna kind of deep dive a little bit more into the Ravens in the second topic. Are the Ravens in trouble? So if you could hold off on that, we'll get to that and talk about it.
Okay,
Yeah.
That was one of my week 2 biggest takeaways that game.
Okay.
And to be honest, quite frankly, it was the now I said Caleb Williams. The reason why I said he was overhyped, or they was hyping him up. I mean, Jaden Daniels looked better than him. I wanted to just make his year stats go up.
So I'm not gonna say Caleb is overhyped, right? Because again, I think his tools are elite. However, I guess an argument could be made that he is overhyped. Again, not overrated, but overhyped. And part of that reason is this, right? What is this? This is the third quarterback Lincoln Riley has gotten taken at number 1 overall since he's become a head coach, right? Baker Mayfield, then Kyler Murray, now Caleb Williams. This is also the third quarterback that he's gotten to a Heisman Trophy. Baker Mayfield, Kyler Murray, Caleb Williams, right? And so you're with one of the greatest collegiate developers of quarterbacks that we've ever seen, and a guy that puts guys out there. And generally, his guys have some level of success on the next level. So the expectation is there. And Caleb is probably more physically gifted than the other two, right? Him and Kyler might be closer, but he's certainly more physically gifted, than Baker Mayfield. So you look at it and you say, he's got all the tools, he's got all the physical gifts, etc. And then you see that the Bears are, making all type of moves left and right to put him in a better position, to succeed as a rookie. And so you're thinking, okay, he's got a real chance to be good. But if you listen to some of the breakdowns from a lot of the analysts and whatnot, some of his big issues are that he always is breaking structure. So I think he needs a really good offensive coach and offensive system, in addition to, some improvement on the offensive line to help him be what he is capable of being. You feel me?
Yeah. Okay. It was that. Okay. And my next biggest week 2, I told y'all about the I took the Cardinals to beat the Rams because, of course, Puka Nacua is a target. He was on the IR. Then now you got Cooper Kupp.
It's tough.
And then their offensive line was I think they mentioned 2 of their starting offensive lines also. So that's a pretty down year for them so far for this week. And then my next one upset was the Saints and Cowboys. Well, the reason why I said it with the Cowboys is because they got to show me they got to beat a playoff condition team. I mean, not these mediocre teams.
We know that the Cowboys are the best front runners in the league, though. We know that. I mean, I get it. When you're a good team, you're supposed to mash out bad teams. Totally get it. The teams you're better than, you're supposed to demonstrate that. However, they are not. They're consistently unable to step up against the better teams. And we see that year in and year out when the playoff time comes. So I don't know why we expect anything more from the Cowboys. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it.
Well, who deserves more of the blame? Does the defense or is it Dak?
Oh man. I think the defense got shredded, man. Now that said, it's always been my stance that if your defense is getting shredded and you're the highest paid quarterback in the league and the highest paid player who's ever been in the NFL, right? And you're a guy who was a second team all-pro quarterback last year, your defense is getting shredded. What's supposed to happen at that point? You're supposed to turn that game into a shootout. And if you lose, then you lose, but you're supposed to turn the game into a shootout. So it's so weird to me that even when the defense doesn't show up, like it never does against better teams when you're the Cowboys, Dak also disappears. He doesn't get better in order to try and keep his team. Like, if we look at it, right, we can knock Aaron Rodgers all we want for all these early playoff defeats, early round playoff defeats in Green Bay, right? However, one thing we can say about Aaron Rodgers is that he was turning those games into shootouts. He was getting those games sometime right to the end of regulation, sometimes into overtime. So, like, he did his part, right? So we can, in some level of fairness, we could say, man, the defense didn't show up for him. I'm not going to put it all on that, but Dak, he's not even doing his part. So we can't just blame it on the defense.
Yeah, that's it. Especially now, my last biggest takeaway is Justin Fields. No INT, he's playing game management right now. He's doing real good for us.
Yeah, at least you admitted the game management part. Okay,
and they're not putting a lot on his plate because he's still learning the system.
I'm being real, D. I'm being, Transformer. I'm not being biased, bro. I'm being. Hey, let me gloat. That's all I gotta say is I'm gloating. 2-0, but our next game is the Chargers.
That's a tough matchup.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good one.
But see, our defense can't save us all the time, though.
Yeah, you're gonna have to get a little something from Fields. But I tell you what Jim Harbaugh is gonna do. He's going to try and test that defensive front. That's what he does. He believes in it. He's gonna test it early. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, well, that's all I got for right now, fellas, man. I'm continue watching the show. I want to hear what y'all take on that Ravens game. I'm sorry.
No doubt, man. No doubt.
Bruce, bro. No problem.
You probably,
all right, man. Appreciate the call.
You honestly probably won't even hear from me. It's gonna be him talking the whole time.
Nah, man. We want to hear from you too, Transform. You know that, man. All right. Any other calls? Want to give us your thoughts on week 2 and kind of what stood out to you, and what you think was interesting, what you think was special. Any players, any teams really stood out to you? The number is scrolling on the bottom of the screen, and it's also in the chat, 904-219-8264. I'll take one more call, and then we'll go ahead and move on to the next topic.
219-82.
Here you go.
219.
All right. You crazy, man.
Red, man. Shout out Red, man. Red doing great.
I know, right? Yeah. Big Red.
8264.
Gee, you still in the chat, man? I'm gonna need you for this one. You definitely gonna have to call in, man.
Woo, boy. Where you at, dummy? Come over here, dummy.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, G-Hope. G-Hope. G is going to spaz out on this next topic. All right, we ready, Transformer? Let's do it, man.
I am ready.
All right, man.
Are you?
So I am. So the question now, are the Baltimore Ravens in trouble? This is the first time they've started the season 0-2 since 2015. And in 2015, the Baltimore Ravens did not make the playoffs. So that's something to think about. And, this is really surprising to me that the Ravens are starting off on this bad foot. I really didn't expect this. This was a lot of teams picked to go to the Super Bowl out of the AFC. I think a lot of people were figuring it's kind of time and that Lamar figures it out and breaks through this year. And I assume they're thinking, a second year in the system with Todd Monken, and Todd Monken learning from his mistakes in the AFC title game last year. But right now, it's honestly not looking good. Laker Nation says the Ravens will be okay, and I tend to think they will be okay as well. You gonna put that on every time Laker Nation has a comment? You gonna do that, man?
Respect for the homie, bro. Let me be great. Let us be great. Okay.
I'm gonna get you a Celtics hat, man.
Negative. I will burn it all to hell. Don't do it.
Yeah.
I don't. You know what? Fun fact, real quick. I didn't even buy 2K because Jason Tatum's on the cover.
You know what though? You know what?
It's like I didn't want to download.
I like that. That's real.
On my screen.
Yeah, no, I like that. That's real. That's how it should be. I like that,
bro. Nothing Celtic in this house, bro.
No, that's a fact. I like it. Let's see. So earlier, Brandon Bryce had put a comment in here after that L the Ravens took last week. Watch them stomp their next opponent. So I said it's the Cowboys. He says the Cowboys won't do anything because they can't afford to strengthen their team. Too much money to the QB and wide receiver 1. Even though CD balls out, he isn't worth the money they're paying him.
I don't know about that.
So I would have said this, Brandon, and you and I we've talked about this. I would have preferred don't pay Dak, make him play the season out. If he walks, he walks. Pay CD Lamb, and then draft one of these really good rookies, and then you've got a legitimate number 1 receiver for that rookie to throw to. I think that's what I would have preferred. Let's see. Where are we? Parsons and Diggs still need to get paid. You have to sign free agents. Dallas is strapped for cash. Look, man, they could do this if they want to, man. They could figure it out. Jerry Jones
got a bankroll.
I heard right. He got the most expensive sports franchise on earth. And so it's funny because I heard him, I think it was the interview with Stephen A. Smith talking about he's got to put it on his credit card to pay these guys. And I'm like, shut the hell up, man. Just stop, man. Don't stop whining about how you can't afford it, man. That really pissed me off when I heard that, So
man, we know that
it is
man
what it
got
is.
The money. Don't let that man fool y'all, okay? He gonna sit back and play the media, okay? Get all in the media, make it a drama story, just so you get more clicks, more information, more cameras in the face of Jerry Jones, more questions asked for Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones is satisfied with the media. By the time the season's ready to start, guess what? You get paid.
That's crazy,
I've seen enough,
right?
I've seen enough for Jerry.
Yeah,
I don't. Every time he says this little dog and pony show, it's literally just for him.
No doubt.
A reason to ask a question to Jerry.
No doubt. I agree, man. I agree. What is this, Edward Jackson? Laker Nation. We're talking about the Ravens. Screw the Cowboys. We'll get back to it. Reason we brought up the Cowboys is because that's the Lakers. That's the Ravens' next opponent. That's why we brought them up, and I'm gonna get to that in a second. But I wanted to know what Edward Jackson was talking about here.
No, I know what he's talking about.
To the side, they got Adrian Wilson. You want to share with us?
No. 2K, you have an option to get the.
Okay. Which cover you gonna get? That's right.
Yeah, exactly. However, Sean, when you still load the game up, Jason Tatum is gonna be the face on the screen.
Yeah, how you like that, G?
That in my house.
Yeah, G not gonna be trying to hear that. He probably think Derek White should have been on the cover.
Still wouldn't have bought it. Still a Celtic.
No, I got you. I respect. I
like the hatred, man.
I love the hatred, man.
But I just won't get the case. I won't get a hard case, cover for it. No, absolutely not.
No doubt. Where were we? Okay, so Ravens, they start out 0-2. So before I even move on, man, what's your thoughts on one of the teams that most people thought would be a competitor in the AFC sitting at 0-2 right now?
Where do we start? All right, week 1 gave you a pass. Super Bowl. It was like, I mean, not Super Bowl rematch, but it was a rematch. Pat Mahomes, you're always losing against Pat Mahomes.
Yeah, it's tough.
I mean, it's kind of like a stigma now. You kind of got it in your brain, like, hey man, this man gets the ball, he's gonna go win the game, right?
Yeah.
And then have it right there, an inch away from at least being able. Well, they were gonna go for it, so we don't know if they were gonna win or lose because Jim is gonna go for 2. He's not that type. No, Jim
is Chargers.
John, there you go, John. John is going to go for 2. The man was already signaling, we're doing this. So we don't know if they were going to win or lose, but to have that opportunity taken away from you because the man foot too big is, kind of should have lit a fire up under you. I think they just went in the fourth quarter and just said, and just took the foot off the gas, man. I mean, you start running the ball. Like, I don't know what's up with this man and the stopping of running the ball. Like, I don't get it. I honestly don't get it.
You're not the only one.
What is Todd there for? Like, what did y'all do in Georgia? What did y'all do in Georgia? There's no point that I saw a Georgia game where y'all ran the ball the first half and you put the ball in the quarterback's hand the whole second half.
Yeah,
didn't see it. So why are you doing it now with one of the greatest run teams in the league, Lightning and Thunder?
Yeah, and you know what? Since you brought that up, let's take a look because. Since Lamar Jackson has come into the league, the Ravens have been, easily among the top rushing teams in the league. More than once, they've been the top rushing team. Now, a big part of that, obviously, is Lamar Jackson with his legs and his mobility contributing to the rushing totals, right? But still, they've consistently run the football. But now you look at the Ravens this year, and again, to your point, I don't know what Todd Monken is doing, getting away from the bread and butter. Like, why would you bring in Derrick Henry not to rush the football consistently? I don't get it. So when you look at the top rushing teams in the league, right? Surprisingly, right. But look, no doubt. But what I wanted to point out, look where the Ravens are. Look how low they are. This is totally unexpected. Look at the teams that are above them. Now, you expect the Chargers will be up near the top, right? Because that's Jim Harbaugh's DNA. He's just going to pound the rock, right?
Precisely.
But the Saints, the Cardinals, the Patriots, the Commanders, all above the Ravens, that's totally unexpected. I don't understand what Todd Monken thinks he's doing. I don't understand why he, as we said, brought in Derrick Henry not to pound the football. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. I really I don't get it.
I was gonna have you leave that screen up because it's one thing that sticks out for me when it comes to that stat line, right?
Okay, what you got?
Look at the attempts. Baltimore has 59 attempts. Come on, man. Yeah, that's not going to get it done. Why are we stopping the run? Like, why are we stopping the running the ball? Why are we stopping that? Like, I just don't understand what's the game plan when you have a strength and you know what your strength is. Green Bay, we knew what our strength was. We said last game, we don't have a quarterback right now that we trust to run a offense that we're accustomed to doing. So guess what? We're going to change the offense and we're going to freaking run the ball. Yep. We're going to run it every play. You mean to tell me you go get Derrick Henry? Now, granted, we don't need him to be 2017 Derrick Henry where he's toting the ball 35 times. But at least you're giving that man the ball 24, 23, 24, and you're not stopping it when it gets to the second half.
And that's what I was going to say, because we know that Derrick Henry just gets stronger as the game goes on.
Because guess what happens to the defense?
The defense gets weaker. They don't want to hit him anymore.
Tired of getting
hit. They don't want to tackle that guy. Yes.
Precisely. So why are we stopping the run when we haven't even got Derrick Henry going? Derrick Henry still ain't even put ice on his knees yet.
Correct. I don't understand it for the life of me. Right.
Yeah.
Right. It's crazy.
Confusing. I'm not even a Raven fan, but I was very, very hype on, very, very bullish on the Ravens. Definitely wanted to see him. The moment they got Derrick Henry, I think I texted you immediately. It was like lightning and thunder. There you go.
Right. Now look at this. Derrick Henry. It's only been 2 games, so we're going to be fair. 19th in the league in rushing. That's not what. No. I don't understand. You bring this guy here and you're paying him $8 million to do what? Why are you
not like he's doing bad. That's 4 yards a carry, right? 29 yards is your longest run. 31 attempts. So you mean tell me he's averaging 15 attempts a game when you're supposed to more be a run team?
You know what I truly believe it is, though, man. I think Todd Monken is seeing these other guys getting their names mentioned for head coaching jobs, right? Yeah. Bobby Slowick and from Houston and Ben Johnson from the Lions. And after this year, mark my words, you will hear Clint Kubiak from New Orleans with what they're doing down there. We're hearing a lot of guys, but guess what's the difference with all those guys, right? They have very explosive, more high-flying type offenses, right? And so Todd Monken, he doesn't want to be seen as a guy who's just running the ball. But how about you just win?
Run the ball.
Make the right calls, win games, and people will try to hire you.
How about we're up 13, run the ball. Run the ball. What are we doing?
No doubt.
What are we doing here? Run the ball. Todd, run the ball. Why are we in a back and forth between the Raiders and Derrick Henry only got 18 carries? Run the ball.
Just don't get it. Brandon Bryce, we're going to talk about this. Bengals have you confused late in that against New England, have a shootout with KC. Yeah, we'll get to that in the next segment with the week 3 pick 'em. But for right now, though, but with the Ravens, man, it's just again, I don't understand what Todd Monken thinks that he is doing. He's not calling these games properly, and John Harbaugh has to take control. He's got to pull him into the office, pause, and tell him, like, yo, we're going to get back to Raven DNA. Like, I don't mind if you do some incorporation of Lamar Jackson into the run game. Not too much now because he's not a running back and we don't want him getting crippled out here. But at the same time, Derrick Henry needs to tote this rock 20 to 25 times every game. We've got to do that. Got to get back to that DNA, because Todd Monken, again, is an experienced play caller, right? He won 2 national championships at Georgia, I believe. And even prior to that, he was the OC when Jameis Winston was down there with that really good offense with Bruce Arians in was that Bruce Arians? Really good offense in Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Right. No risky, no biscuit. Right. So, I mean, he's a good play caller. He knows what he's doing, but he has to be smarter about this. I just don't get it. And let's take a look at this team total offense. Now, this was interesting. So the Ravens are at the top of yards per game, which I think is a really stupid metric. I don't get it. Right. I don't understand the point of being at the top of yards per game if you're lower in points per game. They're only scoring 21 a game, so that's lower.
And the first and second team only scored 21.
Right. So, like, what do the yards matter if it doesn't end up getting points on the board? I really never understood that. I think that's it's like
let's take a look at number 3 real quick.
Number 3.
Ridiculous. Look at the Saints, man.
Yeah.
Those numbers are freaking retarded, bro.
Well, obviously we know this is the NFL. No one's going to stay that high, but they are
That's
doing
crazy.
it.
That's just crazy to see. Like we're looking at everybody's numbers, like okay, like 24 points, 22, 45.
Well, look at this. The Cardinals averaging 35. You know, Philly averaging 28. Again, we know, guys. It's only week 2. We understand that, but still, it's interesting to see teams putting up these type of numbers in the NFL, right? So back to the Ravens, man. And I'll tell you, do I have the defensive? I thought I had it. The defensive numbers really and truly have disappointed me because I'm like, wait a minute. The Ravens defense is what are they? I believe they're 27th in total defense. That's not supposed to happen.
Yards?
Yeah, yards allowed. Right.
Wow, yeah, that's shocking.
But that's not supposed to happen, right? The Ravens consistently are one of the stingiest defenses in the league.
Yeah. Now you did lose what? Patrick Queen. Who else did you lose on that defense?
Great call, Brendan.
Defensive side. With Henry then later. Play action, please. Somebody tell Todd such thing word as play action.
I don't. Again,
this is going to be the sexiest offense in the league, man.
I truly believe he's trying to be sexy with it, and he wants to be like all those other guys, but he doesn't have the personnel to run it like those other guys.
No,
just win, man. That's all you got to do, and people will look at you properly. Just win. Just win.
You got one job, bro.
And again, John Harbaugh, he needs to say, hey, listen up, man. We're not going to have this. We're not going to have this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at the same
hopefully
time,
this is a wake-up call. But y'all play the Cowboys?
Cowboys. So
in Dallas or in Baltimore?
In Dallas, I believe. We're gonna know in the week 3 pick 'em, but let's check real quick.
I got it right here. Why am I asking? I got it right here in my face.
At Dallas, yep. Excuse me, at Dallas. Yeah, so I will say this though. The Cowboys have had a tremendous amount of difficulty stopping the run so far this year. And so hopefully Todd Monken will run it down their throats, pause, and really give these dudes the work, pause, and just, try to get about a good 200 rushing yards. He needs to do that.
The Ravens need to unpause everything you just said. At this point, go in there, run it down their throat,
get busy.
Get busy.
Yeah,
it's like right now, you got to be the dub.
Punished.
I mean, granted, I don't think at all the Ravens are in trouble. They have a team built for a postseason run.
Yes.
It's just like you ran into Patrick Mahomes last year, so I think they have a type of style that would definitely still at this point win them 10, 11, 12 games. But they got to get it going, man.
Yeah, I was about to say you can't get too far
have
behind,
an identity. Man. You need to have an identity.
Isn't that
Your
crazy?
identity is already there. Your identity was planted. It's there.
Yes.
People use it in Madden. If they use it a lot in Madden, what should you do in real life? Probably use it.
Yeah. Why? Because Madden is built off of what that team does well in the real world. Yeah. Now, it's crazy to think that, to your point, the Ravens have had an identity pretty much forever. Why are you trying to deviate from that? It works.
With a quarterback that's not built for that.
Yeah. And a receiving core that doesn't really allow him to do that. But this Cowboys game hopefully is a get right game for them because the Cowboys have one of the worst run defenses in the league. So if Todd Monken's brain doesn't turn to mush, then they should be able to run the ball effectively in this game. So I don't know, man. But the Cowboys also, they're a professional football team and they're going to have pride too. They got a lot of players. They led the league in all pro selections last year. So they're not going to want to see the Ravens walk into their league. I know, right? But they're not going to want to see the Ravens walk into their house and run the ball all over them. So
they just let it happen.
Yeah, but I mean, 2 weeks in a row, it's hard in the NFL to do that to somebody 2 weeks in a row, unless you're Carolina, I guess.
At this point, you should be more hungrier than Dallas.
I agree.
You should be upset. You lost against your rival. I mean, I wouldn't say rival, but the one that's in your way. You lost against the guy that's in your way in the AFC and Patrick Mahomes, right?
Yeah.
You then go in Oakland, and not Oakland, Vegas, and you lose to the Raiders when you had a 13-point lead with 10 minutes left in the quarter. In the fourth quarter, you let go a 13-point lead. I mean, it wasn't 13 points. They would lead by 10, but you let 13 points get ran all over you in the fourth quarter. You stopped running the ball, and that game ended with Derrick Henry with 18 carries for 80 something yards.
Don't understand it.
It's not like he was being stuffed or nothing like that. You didn't give the run game time to develop. Derrick Henry needs carries. He needs to wear down your defense. Guess what happens when you wear down a defense? Lamar becomes a ghost because you can't touch him or see him.
Right.
You can't touch him or see him. That pass rush is not there because they're exhausted. Them linebackers are tired of running and hitting Derrick Henry. So guess what? Lamar gone.
So here's my question for you.
What's up?
How does everyone except Todd Monken know this? Help me out, bro. Help me out. I'm lost. How does everyone except Todd Monken know this?
I have no idea, man. And this is why I said John needs to be held responsible.
He does.
He needs to be held responsible, man.
No,
this
you're
is
right.
Your team. You're the head coach. This falls on your shoulders, right? Todd can do whatever he wants, but we don't go in the offseason and be like, man, they need to do something with that offensive coordinator. He kept calling the same game. No.
Yeah.
That's John's decision.
That's right.
John is the ultimate decision maker on that team. John should be held accountable as well. So if the Todd go, John, you might want to think, but yeah. Sucks, man. I don't think they're in trouble though. I mean, that's my take. I don't think they're in trouble. It's just disappointing right now.
I think this is the last game that they could lose this early that wouldn't immediately indicate trouble though. Like if they lose this one, I'll go as far as to say, if they lose this one and the offense is struggling, fire Todd Monken now. Do it. Don't even wait. Just do it. Yeah. Because you can't fall any further into the hole. And
either that no, what John is more as a defensive-minded coach. He's not really an offensive.
Well, he's a special teams guy. So
yeah. So I mean,
but
I would say, John, just take over I got it. Just take over the reins, bro. Stop letting that man call the plays. Or Lamar, what do y'all want to do out there? Lamar probably gonna tell you, bro, run the damn ball.
No, Lamar, he's got an idea of what he wants to do, definitely.
Yeah.
So
it's once they run the ball. My bad. Our bad, chat. I mean, I got caught up.
You're right.
I don't know, but this segment, man, I got more passionate than Bruce, and this is his team.
But what it is, man, I really try to keep it. You know this. I try to keep it objective. Yeah. When it comes to the teams I love, because if I really allow it to go there, it can get bad.
You're due. I would have let you, bro. Yeah. Pause. Like
I got you.
Opportunity to just let off a little bit of steam because we know if G was here, boy. Listen.
Oh man, yeah. It would be.
G would have been playing.
Yeah, I
Flames would have been leaving G's head, man. Once they run the ball, control the clock, the defense will begin to shine again. Like a nation. My bad, bro.
No, you're
like a nation, bro. You are absolutely right. Once you run the ball, control the clock, the defense will begin to shine again. The defense is tired of being out there.
It's a very simple formula. I don't know why we being you and I, but why some people are acting like this is so difficult. I just don't get it.
No,
I really don't. It's a very simple formula. It's worked for the Ravens for a long time. And just
decades of making it to the Super Bowl because of your run game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now, granted, beside the Joe Flacco one, Joe Flacco was just phenomenal. Probably one of my favorite postseason runs I've ever seen in a quarterback. But either way, you guys got to the playoffs established off the run. Running defense,
absolutely.
Running defense,
right.
Running defense, run defense.
Yes.
Like, that's it, bro. That's it.
Not
hard. You can't tell me you got two of the greatest running weapons in the league and you're not running the ball.
Not hard.
Come on, man. I'm not going to beat a dead horse, man. Let me address these comments. Edward Jackson, this is a must-win for the Ravens, and I'm not saying that just because they are in the AFC's North. You're right. I think if they lose this game, you're panicking. You're going to start panicking.
Mega trouble.
All right? Mega trouble. You're 0-3. So now you literally have there's only 15? No, at that point, 14 games left in the season. I mean, you got to now go 11-3 for the rest of the year. You know what I mean? And you still got other major games to play in this season. So I do think they're in trouble. But hey, vice versa, Dallas loses this game, they're in trouble.
Yes.
So at this point, man, it's all about the kid who don't want to get the ass whooping. When mama get home, hey man, who's gonna take the blame for this?
Nah, no doubt, no doubt. Yeah, it's bad right now, man. But it could very quickly get better with a strong win and a strong performance in Dallas. But if they lose to these Cowboys,
I don't think, you know what? I don't think you need a strong, like a big win.
You
all
just
right.
need
If
a
you
win.
go and you win, and we see that you guys ran the ball, all right. You didn't stop what your strength was in the second half. That's been the key. The last 3 games, you've been stopping your strength in the second half with a lead. That just doesn't make sense to me. You know what I mean?
You're right.
So I think when they do that, if we see them do that and they get a win, I don't care if it's by 3 points, then okay, you got your identity, you got the W. Now we can build off of this. You know what I mean? I think that's what I think they can do it because I think that defense is good enough. I'm not going to look at their defensive yardage and say that they're not a good defense. The Ravens are always going to be a good defensive team.
Yeah.
I think right now you could put Dallas in a whole lot of hurt. You can stop them running the ball. You know, they got Zeke and what's his name, Dodell, back there in the backfield. They're not names to be scared of. You know what I mean? So you can stop the run. You can blanket CD Lamb and really put some pressure on Dak. So I think you do have an opportunity to go up. And anything about Dallas. Once you go up on Dallas and you start running away, Dak is not the chase down artist. Because that's just not his forte. So
he'll just fold.
Chance.
Yeah. Interesting comment by Laker Nation. Very good perspective. Hadn't thought about it that way. Dallas in better shape because they can always win that division and they play the Giants twice. That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, did I pick Dallas? I think I did.
I think Philly. I picked Philly.
Yeah. I think I changed my mind last second though because I saw I want to say what did I change it? I think they had a pickup or something, and it made me I was like, "Ooh, I like that."
Okay,
and it made me change my mind. So I think I ended up riding with Philly. Pause. Win the division.
But got you. All right, cool. So I guess we've given our thoughts on are the Ravens in trouble, and I think we've both kind of agree they're not in terrible trouble at the moment. However, they need this game. If they go down to 0-3. They're in huge trouble, and it's my opinion at that point they would need to fire Todd Monken and just get back to what they're doing. So, we're going to open up the phone lines. I'll put the number in the chat again, and it's scrolling on the bottom of the screen, 904-219-8264. There you go, Transformer. There you go, 904-219-8264. When are the Ravens going to get a legit receiver for Lamar, asks Brandon Bryce. Yeah, well, it depends on what you mean by legit, but
Zay Flowers is nice.
I was about to say, I know you're getting the Ravens games out there, B. You can tell by the way they're calling plays and they're designing certain things that they are attempting to make Zay Flowers their go-to weapon. Now, personally, I think that Zay Flowers would be better as a number 2 with a legit number 1. So I agree with you. We were kind of talking about it last week with what's his name, Devontae Adams's comments out in Las Vegas about whether or not he was trying to maybe grease the skids a little bit to work his way out of Vegas into Baltimore, which that would be awesome if he could get with Lamar. I think he definitely could teach Lamar some things about throwing from the pocket, maybe help him in terms of, hey, these are some things Aaron Rodgers used to do. I don't expect you to be him, but these are some of the things that helped him to be successful. Lamar would learn about, expect you to be him, but these are some of the. Is that me?
My bad.
Okay, my bad. So he would, I think, learn more about timing and really catching the great receivers and so on and so forth. So I guess you know what, you just asked me a question and I just gave you a bunch of mumble mouth talk, but I have no idea is the simple answer, man. I wish they would get Lamar number 1 receiver quickly, but I really have no idea. I couldn't even tell you.
I think Zay is a great guy. You guys expected a lot from Duvernay, and it just not Duvernay. What's the other guy?
Rashad Bateman.
There you go. Rashad Bateman. You guys expected a lot of him.
Yeah.
And I think injuries kind of sidelined him a lot, and then you just couldn't really get him going. But I like a legit receiver. I think Zay is a legit receiver. It's what you're calling.
Yeah.
What are we calling? What is the play style like? We're not developing the run to open up the pass.
Yeah.
That's as simple as it gets. I just don't understand. Like, I'm sorry. My bad. Man. I've already expressed my anger with Todd. Like, come on, bro. What are we doing?
I think you're right when you say Zay is a legitimate receiver, but I think he'd be better as a number 2. I really do.
Yeah.
and you get him one of these number ones, and then Zay is a number two. It would be crazy, I think. But it is what it is. So
I agree.
Yeah. So I guess we're not gonna guess we're not gonna get any calls on this.
And G not here, boy.
Some must have happened. I'm surprised that G didn't call in and light this phone line up with this.
But I think he's going through something. I saw him in a text.
Yeah, I did too.
He's going through power outage or something like that.
Yeah. All right, well, let's do this, man. We're moving right along. Let's go to third topic, week 3 pick'em. Yeah, so let's get right to it. You want me to put the schedule up on the screen, or
yeah? Oh, do you have a pick'em sheet? Is it in?
No, I just have the schedule here.
Okay, but I think the pick'em sheet is in the same order. Close enough, though. All right, we'll just go like this. I'll use the sheet on the screen so the viewers can see, because obviously they can't see my my pick'em sheet. So we're gonna go with that. So New England, New York. New England travels to New York 8:15 Thursday night. What do you think Aaron Rodgers is gonna beat him by?
That's the Jets. Ooh. You know what? New England, man, is better than people think this year, surprisingly.
They are.
They are more competitive. They're always going to defend properly.
Yeah.
But I think the Jets probably are feeling good coming off of who's New England's starting quarterback? Does anybody know?
Bledsoe. Jesus.
Oh yeah.
Brissett.
Brissett. Jacoby Brissett. Close games, I generally just get lazy and go with the better quarterback, the guy who I think, if it comes down to it, can pull the game out. And even though he's clearly not the same, I think it's Aaron Rodgers. And I think the Jets still, while they're not the defense that they once that they were expected to be, I think they can get pressure on Brissett. So I think the Jets win this game.
You think the Jets win?
Mm-hmm.
I'm on the fence. I want to pick New England. Why? New England can definitely run the ball. The Jets have really been struggling.
So can the Jets.
Since the Jets can. However, New England's defense is good. Their defense is pretty solid this year. I think they're making some great. The reason why they get scored on a little bit more than what they should is because the offense really can't stay on the field as long. They can't really sustain long drives. But I do think they can put pressure enough for Aaron Rodgers to be upset. And once he gets upset and he gets discombobulated. He
plays outside himself a little bit.
As far as this season, yes, he starts getting a little upset with the receivers and how they're running routes. I love me some Aaron Rodgers as far as on the field, but the off the field stuff. Obviously as a Green Bay fan, I didn't appreciate the diviness.
I get it,
but they're in New York, like you said, they're high on life, man. I'm gonna go with New York. I'll go with New York on this one too.
Okay, cool.
All right. So we're going to go from New York. New York Giants travel to Cleveland at 1:00.
Even without Myles Garrett, Cleveland's defense is going to eat up Daniel Jones. Although Malik Neighbors, man, he looked really good last week. But yeah, I think the Cleveland defense is going to eat up Daniel Jones. I do. I got no faith in that guy. So yeah, Cleveland.
Yeah, Daniel Jones. Enough said. Moving on. Green Bay goes to Tennessee with Will Levis at quarterback.
Tennessee has been competitive, but Will Levis is going to do something stupid and give you the game. So I'm going to go with Green Bay, and Green Bay has better coaching. So yeah, I think that's important as well.
I mean, for bias reasons, I will go with Green Bay as well. However, I'm curious. I don't think he will, but like I said, the talk on the town is that Jordan Love has returned to practice. He's practicing limitedly. And they're trying to gear him up for week 3. But I don't think
you need to rush him back. I just don't.
I agree, but obviously, Bruce, I'm just a fan.
Don't make the call.
I don't make the call.
I totally get it. I get it.
But like I said, I do like how we can establish the run. If one thing we can fix, Josh Jacobs, bro, please glue that damn ball to your side. Just glue it. If you fumble that ball one more time at a crucial point in the game, I'm gonna have a panic attack. Over here in Florida and y'all in Tennessee. So I'm obviously gonna pick the home team on that one. I got Green Bay.
All right.
Chicago, Caleb Williams goes to Indianapolis with Anthony No Throw Richardson.
I think that Caleb gets his first win this week.
Second.
His first win.
Second. They won week 1.
They did. Yeah, that comeback in the defense and special teams. That's right. That's right.
You remember they saved his bacon.
That's right.
They
No,
saved his debut.
I think Caleb is going to play a little better. He has gotten just a little better each week. So he's going to play a little better. I'm going to go with the Bears because defense travels, man. It really does.
No, defense does travel. Anthony Richardson, like I said, and I
don't know
saw
what
this
he's doing.
in Florida, he doesn't make great decisions. He's a risky thrower.
Lack of experience, though.
Lack of experience, but it's like, okay, you're not gaining it by just letting them continuously do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, you gotta eventually start making better decisions with the football. Throwing it in the double, triple coverage, I can tell you that's a guaranteed way to not learn from your mistakes. You trying to run over defensive ends and D tackles like they're freaking 10-year-old kids out there in the schoolyard. That's not smart. And like I said, I like Chicago's defense, and it's bad for me to say, but I do like the defense. I think Chicago's defense is going to travel. I think this is going to be a game we see Caleb Williams get 2 touchdowns. I'm going to call it 2 touchdowns. Okay. Caleb Williams is going to get 2 scores. All right. So moving on, we got Houston traveling to Mr. Darnold in not San Francisco, Minnesota.
Yeah, Houston. Houston has Darnold is playing well, but at some point he's going to come back to earth. But he is playing well, but CJ Stroud is just on another level. And they're well coached. Houston, that is well coached. They have weapons offensively. They can run the ball. I'm gonna go with Houston.
Okay, I agree. Sam Darnold is going to come back to earth eventually. JJ is kind of dealing with a nagging injury. Not sure. I think he's going to play. I think they said he's going to play. But nagging injuries. Sam Darnold. Now the spotlight's actually on you. Houston's going to be game planning for him. I think they can go in Minnesota and win this one, man. Those guys in Houston are high off life. They're 2-0 right now.
Yeah,
2-0 right now.
I think Houston really believes.
You
don't see a team this young with this, fresh coach and coordinator and all that. They really believe, though. I think. Yeah.
And I don't see Minnesota secondary dealing with Nico Collins. So you do have JJ on one side, but in Houston, he got Nico, and Nico is out there catching everything in the wind. So I agree with Houston on that one.
Yeah.
So this one is interesting.
Okay.
Philly goes to New Orleans. Why am I messing up the team?
Ooh. Wow.
That got you. That got you stuck right there.
A little bit, but I'm gonna go with New Orleans
because I said the same.
Yeah, I haven't seen the Eagles defense look yet the way it looked when they were at their best a couple of years ago, and I don't expect it necessarily to get back to that, but it hasn't been anywhere close. So we need to see the defense get more pressure. Man, and you look at Derek Carr is playing some really good ball. New Orleans, they are able to throw it. They are able to run it.
Yeah,
they're playing good football right now, man. They're playing real good football right now. So yeah, man, I'm gonna go with New Orleans. I can't believe. Yeah,
I'm not mad at your answer at all. I think this answer is pretty obvious right now. New Orleans is clearly clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah,
when you can score 4. And granted, I don't expect them to score 40-something points, but Philly hasn't shown me they can stop the run.
Right.
Green Bay ran on them. All right. Atlanta ran on you. And now New Orleans, Alvin Kamara, they can run on you. And that boy Rashid is balling out of control. Derek Carr is looking good enough to, because he has the run game behind him.
I think New Orleans has the number 2 rushing offense in the league right now. Number 2 or number 3.
I think your stat showed that. I want to say the stat line showed that. Yeah. So, and they're in New Orleans, man. They have life. Philly barely escaped. Number 3. We're the Chargers number 2. That's correct.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Number 2. But like I said, Philly, yes, they just came off of a terrible ending against Atlanta, but New Orleans has the weapons to not only take the lead but also put you away in the third quarter.
Right.
So I'm a ride with that one, man. Pause. All right, Jim or John, whichever one. Jim, it travels to Pittsburgh against.
That is going to be one hell of a game. The Chargers are really going to put Pittsburgh's defense to the test. In terms of the Ravens, in terms of the Steelers' ability to stop or not stop the run, this is going to be very interesting. But I'm going to say Pittsburgh wins this game at home.
There you go.
I do.
Right now, man, we got to pick a different.
Is
right
it,
now,
how is that? Wow,
we're picking
the same team. That's crazy. Yeah, that is crazy. No, but I think that the running game is going to get slowed down a bit this week for the Chargers. But the question is going to be without weapons on the outside, like we're going to see what's Justin Herbert going to be able to do. What type of passing game is Jim Harbaugh and Greg Roman going to be able to draw up together that can give the Steelers some difficulty. Now, here's the problem. Here's the other thing that's going to be tough for the Steelers. They're not going to be able to get a lot of pressure off either edge, right? How many teams have bookend guys on the left and right tackle? Because you got Rashawn Slater on the left and rookie Joe Alt, who is not playing like a rookie, on the right. Joe Alt, go Irish, offensive line you. I'm just saying. But no, in all seriousness, though, Joe Alt, he's balling out. So this is going to be very interesting to me. But I'm going to go with Pittsburgh finding a way to win. And I think Justin Fields maybe makes a couple more plays here.
I agree. I agree. Another reason being Herbert's dealing with a nagging injury now. I think he was dealing with plantar fasciitis. Now he went up to his calf or something like that. And so when you're limited at quarterback, now if you're getting to one of those shootouts, TJ is a bad man. and he's going to find a way. Like I like the left and right tackle for the Chargers, but TJ has shown me that not one man can get in his way. You're going to need two.
Yeah.
So at this point, I think Pittsburgh can do enough to bother the run game to force them to use Herbert a little bit more.
That's right.
And the pressure is eventually going to get home on Herbert and put him in dangerous situations.
Yeah.
And, again, you're in Pittsburgh and, when you're down, you can't, even though John is going to run that ball, he's going to continue to try to run the ball.
Jim.
You can't do it when you're Jim. Ski always gets backwards, man. I swear to God, I'm going to fix it one day. But I do think, Pittsburgh's going to do enough. I do like what Justin Fields is doing. He's not putting the ball in harm's way.
No, he's not.
Honestly, he should have had some touchdowns last game. There was a couple of drops, a couple of
and then you got penalties on some huge pass plays downfield where he really dropped it in the basket. You know what? I think is also something of an advantage in this game for Pittsburgh. Remember, Greg Roman was the Ravens OC for years in Baltimore, right? And so Pittsburgh has a lot of film on him, what he likes to run and how to deal with that. They're very familiar with his schemes. So, I think that's going to help him in terms of this week and drawing up the game plan and the defensive install. Brandon's got Chargers. He's got the Chargers in this one, but I'm going to go with the Steelers.
Yeah. Okay. Brandon and Lakers got the Chargers.
Okay.
Chargers City. Okay. I see you.
Listen, I would be very happy if the Chargers beat the Steelers. I'm good with that.
I'm just surprised, my brother Sean, he might have logged off or something because I'm pretty sure he would have put all types of flaming yellow and black comments in the freaking chat, man. Right. Moving on for the last 1:00 game, we have Denver traveling to Tampa Bay. Bo Nix goes to play Baker Mayfield.
That's Tampa Bay. You got superior quarterback play, and Bo Nix at this point hasn't shown that he's able to deal with a good defense. So I don't know. Sean Payton, I don't know if he's going to be able to deal with this dink and dunk. And then defensively, while the Broncos defense is a little better than we think, I don't know if they're going to be. I don't think they can deal with Baker and those receivers. I just don't. Chris Godwin having a heck of a year already. Obviously, Mike Evans is Mike Evans, and Baker playing at a very high level. Yeah. So
yeah. No, I agree. I mean, Bo Nix still has a lot to learn. Scrambling. It's the decision making. And you can't make those decisions against Tampa Bay, especially Tampa Bay goes up 14-3 in the first half or first quarter, and now you really got to rely on Bo Nix. You're not going to win that game. Not in Tampa. No, not in that humidity. The heat is still rising. Where did Bo Nix play in Oregon? It don't get it hot in Oregon.
No, not really. But
he was in Auburn before.
I was about to say that's right. So he knows about heat, and he's from Alabama, so he knows about heat. He can deal with that.
Yeah. But I think it's just not enough in Denver for them to overtake Tampa Bay.
Laker Nation says Tampa easy. Denver has to figure out what they're going to do offensively.
Precisely.
I agree.
Precisely. I mean, and right now you got Bo Nix. You're trying to learn them. You're trying to understand them. Sean Payton just trying to put something together. He has to put something together, especially since I believe he's on a hot seat if it starts spiraling out of control, in a bad sense. So. Okay, that's the last 1 o'clock. We're gonna go over to the 4:05 games. Carolina travels to Vegas. I'm gonna shock you with this pick.
Let me hear it.
There?
I'm here. Let me hear it.
Carolina's gonna win this game.
Who start? Andy Dalton.
Andy Dalton.
Huh.
That's gonna be my risky pick for the week. I'm gonna be the odd man out. And I think Andy Dalton is going to come in and be like, let me show you something, Rook. I mean, he's not even a rookie, but
no, I get it.
But no, let me be serious, man. Devontae Adams on that side. I'm going to pick Vegas.
But I mean,
but I do think Andy Dalton's going to give him a run for their money.
I was about to say, sometimes, you need that breath of fresh air, which is what Andy Dalton's going to bring. Canellis may feel a little bit of pressure lifted because you don't have to worry about Bryce Young not playing well.
True.
I just can't see it. Vegas. I'm trying to find a reason to pick.
There's no reason.
Carolina. I couldn't.
Like, I mean, they got Hubbard in the backfield. I mean, you got Andy Dalton out there. I just think you guys are in a position to where you guys are going for the first round, the first overall pick. So, Raiders, I just wanted to be funny on that one because I love Devontae Adams, and I try not to be biased towards picking him on the opposite side of the ball. But anyway, moving on. Now, Miami travels to Seattle against Geno Smith.
This is going to be Seattle all day. Miami doesn't have their quarterback.
I think
their offense is very limited with, wasn't it, Skylar Thompson? Very limited in terms of what they're able to do. So I think that's an easy one.
I agree. It's time to see if Mike McDaniels can put a scheme together. I mean, at this point, right now, your coaching is definitely going to reflect how. I mean, this game is going to reflect how good you are as a coach.
Yeah,
I literally saw Matt LaFleur take his backup quarterback that he just got a couple of weeks ago, and literally go out there and win a game because he used his strength. I think if you could draw up, a scheme for Skylar to succeed, and not go out there and expect him to do the same thing Tua did. Sit back in the pocket and try to make decisions. I think you got to open up your playbook a little bit deeper, get your weapons involved.
I think they would if they thought they could.
Huh?
I think they would if they thought they could. But like to your point, now we're going to see just how creative and how good Mike McDaniels is. Quick, interesting note. So this weekend, Miami at Seattle is Mike McDaniels versus Mike McDonald. I don't know. I just thought that was
Mike McDaniels versus Mike McDonald.
Correct.
That's a knee slapper right there, brother.
There you go.
All right, man. Moving on.
Yes.
Your game.
My game.
Baltimore travels to Dallas.
So this game is tougher to pick than you would think.
Yeah.
Because I don't believe. First of all, Dallas is upset after the way they got manhandled last week, and they're at home. Baltimore's 0-2, so they're desperate. But Greg Monken seems to be. I was going to call him a name, which is unprofessional, but he doesn't seem to be calling the best games. But also, Dallas doesn't seem to have any ability to stop the run this season. Yeah. So I can only truly hope that Baltimore is going to give a heavy dose of Derrick Henry and the run game to the Cowboys. And so I'm going to pick the Ravens. But, man, if they don't win this, we already talked about it. It's going to be bad.
Yeah, I think right now Baltimore is really feeling the pressure, especially from the media. They're hearing it from the fan base. I think I tuned in to one of my social media friends. They're a Raven fan, and they were watching a fan page. I guess they went live, and man, when I tell you, dude was yelling so hard. I'm pretty sure he was at home, but the man started sweating. Okay, all right, God. Yeah. You got to get it together, brother. You got to get it together. This man is probably in the comfort of his own home, in the AC, got a fan on, and he's sweating because he's talking about you and his horrible play calling that we do in the second half.
Right.
I think this is that game. You definitely want to do it in Dallas. because that's the stage you want to do it on. I mean, granted, we give Dallas a hard time because they're always in the media, but they're still the biggest football team in America. The biggest name, the biggest target, the biggest fan base, the biggest media presence. I think this is the game you do it. And like I said, this is Todd's opportunity to be like, hey, look, we're gonna run the ball. We're gonna run the ball down their throat, and we're gonna bring it to them. We're gonna push it to them hard. And I don't want no pause necessarily needed because Baltimore don't need a pause. They need to freaking be full on go and get right up in them, man. Give another reason for Mike Irvin to go on Cameron and Mace's podcast and say more pause worthy stuff. So I got Baltimore, man. I definitely got Baltimore.
Yeah, I'm with you.
All right. The second was it's a no-brainer. San Fran goes to Los Angeles, or what's left of the Los Angeles Rams.
If they were both healthy, this would be a tough matchup.
This would be a great matchup if they were. But Los Angeles, they're just too hurt. They're just beat up. They're beat all the shit, man. I don't think we need to. Even though San Fran, they're missing a couple of weapons, they still have well more than enough to overcome Los Angeles, who has nothing left. I mean, yes, you got Kyron and Siren, but other than that, I mean, you got nothing. You got no receivers, you got no line. You're losing defenders, you're losing your safety, you're losing your DB, and you're playing against one of the smartest play callers on the other side. I mean, they're both very, very great play callers, but he has some weapons left. No, he still has Brandon Ayuk. He still has Jordan Mason back there. Brock Purdy has been good enough, and he's shown that he can, put the ball in the right areas. I want to see.
Purdy's good, man. They don't want to give him his due, but the guy's good.
The guy's good, man. Jennings is going to have an opportunity to showcase. I believe the rookie Pearsall is going to be playing. He may play today, play Sunday. So that'll be interesting to see if they can get him going with Debo being out. But yeah, I think that's an easy one. This next one is going to be a fun one. I like this one. This is one of my games of the week. It's going to be Detroit traveling to Arizona.
This would have been easy to pick if we didn't see Arizona do it. Yeah. This would have been easy.
I agree. Gosh. I agree. But that game right there, it woke America up. But I think, Detroit, I mean, they got to see what Marvin Harrison Jr. can do. The world got to see, like, we seen him do it at Ohio State, but now we get to see him do it in the NFL. And I think Kyler Murray was literally running the way he wanted. I mean, that was the best I've seen Kyler Murray look in a long time.
I tell you what, though, he's going to need to run like that again because Aiden Hutchinson is on a tear, leading the league in sacks. And what do you have, 4.5 sacks last week?
I think 3.5 or 4.5. I want to say.
I think it was 4.5. Yeah, he went nuts. He went nuts.
Yeah,
Aiden Hutchinson is a beast, man.
I think I played against him in one of my fantasy leagues, but I still won though, so I ain't no pressure.
I got you.
Nothing crazy. But what you got?
Detroit close, man. Detroit.
You got Detroit?
Because I think they can run the football better than Arizona can. Their offensive line is elite. They run block well and they pass block well. It's going to be hard to get to Jared Goff. He's not the most mobile guy, but it's hard to get to him. And the weapons that they have. I think Detroit, but it's not going to be easy at all. Some good games this week. Wow.
I think I have to have some diversity in our pick 'em. I'm gonna go with Arizona.
Okay.
Right now we're batting. I think we're 10 for 10 with the same picks.
Really? That's crazy. That's never happened before.
Yeah, we've had the same, but it's a lot of games. Wow. It's just like from what we've seen, it's just enough to be like, okay, all right, this is kind of definitely leaning that way. But I'm gonna go with Arizona. They're in Arizona. I like what they're doing over there. What I saw last game was a little bit of an eye opener. That definitely showed that James Conner's not back there just for his health. He's back there to run the football. So I think when you have a run game and you have a Kyler Murray that can literally go and make a crazy big play out of nowhere when you didn't even really need it yet. Yeah. And Marvin Harrison Jr. out there, I think you do have an opportunity to win. You're at home. It's midday. You're in the. Like I said, I think the signs are just in their favor. And how fast is Hutchinson run? How fast can he run?
I don't know what his 40 time is.
Well, he's going to be having a hard time trying to chase that little shortstop.
Yeah.
Running out of the pocket.
One thing about him, he's going to keep coming. Pause. He's going to do that. He does not run out of energy. He just keeps He's just like a super hustle box. Yeah.
No, absolutely. So I'm gonna go with Arizona, man. We can finally have a pick that's different.
All right. That's cool.
Which I think we kind of need at this point. All right.
It is what it is, right?
All right. So last game of Sunday night, of course, it's a primetime game. So who else? The biggest face in football, Patrick Mahomes travels to Atlanta.
Man, I'm gonna go KC, man. Because it's weird. It's so they just keep finding ways to win. Like they win close games.
Yep.
They can blow you out. They find ways to win. That's a really good football team. And Spags is a really good defensive game planner.
Really great defensive coordinator.
He is.
I don't think. I think the shine of Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift. Of course, you got to mention her name at this point. Andy Reid. You have some big names that are on that team. To me, Spags does not get enough love. He gets love, right? But Spags doesn't get enough because it's like when you need your defense to bend, but not freaking break. Spags can draw it up, man. I mean, he can draw it up. He can really get you in his defense in the best position possible to go have a drive that will stop your offense to get Pat Mahomes the ball back to go win the game. He's done it in multiple Super Bowls. He's done it in comeback games. We've seen it enough to where Spags needs that just due to be like, hey, Pat Mahomes, yes, he went to go have a game winner. But what happened before that? Oh, it was a 3-and-out. Oh, okay. Oh, it was a pick. Oh, okay. It was a fumble. Oh, okay. So the defense played a huge part in getting Pat the ball back. That's where Spags definitely needs to get his love. It's Pat in Atlanta. I think he's going to showboat a little bit, man.
All right. New Breed Sports was good, man. Good to see you in here, man. Thanks for stopping in. Appreciate you always. Edward Jackson has a question for us, and then we'll get back to these picks. Do y'all think Taylor Swift is affecting Travis Kelce's game? I think the answer is no. Travis Kelce's just getting older. That's all that is.
What, 33? He's 33.
Yeah, about that. Yeah, that sounds about right. But the thing is, though, you know that as long as he can go, he's going to come up big when Mahomes needs him, especially in like big games or the postseason. So, I don't think Taylor Swift is affecting him at all.
Yeah. And I think they played against two defenses that know him well. Cincinnati and the Baltimore Ravens. I mean, they schemed up well to be like, hey, man, Pat loves him some Travis Kelce. If you're gonna do anything to anybody on their receiving core, stop him.
Yeah.
We're gonna stop him. That safety, you're gonna have to be ready, linebacker chip. Somebody give him a little hip toss or whatever. Hip bump. That's what I meant to say. To get him off his route, and safeties be ready to do what you got to do to get in front of it. But I don't think Atlanta has enough of that. I mean, we got Matthew Judon back there. I believe they have a rookie corner. The name is not. It's not ringing a bell right now. But again, man, it's Patrick Mahomes. I don't know. I got no reason to doubt the kid, man.
No doubt.
I really don't. Especially in the prime time game.
Real quick, New Breed Sports, see a comment here. Do y'all think the Ravens are getting exposed on offense? So you missed it. We did a whole segment on the Ravens, whether or not they're in trouble, man. So you can go back, check that out on the replay of this. And I'll probably cut it and make a separate episode out of that. But I don't. Yeah, you're gonna have to go back and listen. But the short answer is Todd Monken, their OC, needs a lot of work. We can't understand what he's doing. So yeah, but there's a lot more to it than that. So just check that out, and you could leave a comment or whatever. All right. Where are we, Transformer?
We wrap it up. Kansas City. Travis Kelce is about to be 35 October 5th. By the way.
Okay, there you go. So he's been around for a while. He's the all-time leader in playoff receptions.
Yeah,
it's come more than Jerry Rice. He's a tight end.
That's what happens when you've been to like 6-7 straight AFC championship games.
That's a great point. All these long playoff runs.
4 Super Bowls. You know what I mean? And Pat Mahomes loves to throw the ball to his tight end. I mean, so that's not hard to do. But I made this post 3 days ago. You guys can go and check my Facebook account, Bryant Transform. I made this post. KC finds any way to win games.
That's right.
Never count them out. I'm not going to do it now. Kansas City is going to win in Atlanta.
Yeah.
So moving on to the last one, Monday night. Jacksonville travels to Buffalo.
Come on, man. Do we have to do this? You know what it is, man.
No.
Buffalo's
All right,
going
we're
to
just gonna get Buffalo. All right, moving on.
Yeah,
All right, man, and that's our week 3 pick 'em.
Week 3 pick 'em. There we go.
Jacksonville fans, man, if you're watching, you tuned in live. I got nothing. I truly got nothing for you.
Nothing.
Jaguars, they're failing me. I really had them winning about 8-9 games right now.
Doug Peterson's going to get fired at the end of this year, man.
Dougie P is going to look to get fired.
Yeah, I think
the play calling is just not what it needs to be. Granted, the offensive line, it's hard to win games when you don't have an offensive line and you can't run the ball. What do you always say, Bruce? What do you always say?
Run the ball, stop the run.
When you can't do the first thing, be prepared to be struggling on the next thing.
That's
because
right.
If you can't run the ball, then that means that other team is more likely up on you, and they're going to start running the ball. What happens to your defense eventually? They get tired. They get exhausted.
Then
so
you
that
can't stop the
defensive
run.
line's like, and then now we're looking at, man, Jacksonville ain't got no defense either. Man, we tired of being out there. We're tired of being on the field.
Yeah.
I mean, eventually, I want to see the average person go out there and run around 5 plays in 3 minutes.
Yeah.
I want to see how exhausted you're going to be.
That's right.
So if you do that multiple times a game and you're doing it for way more than what you're supposed to because the offense can't stay on the field because this man is running for his life, I mean, you literally just saw the man get sacked in his own end zone.
Correct.
You know what I mean? So yeah, I think Jacksonville's under a lot of pressure right now. They got a lot of questions that need answers. And on the other side, Buffalo, I mean, Josh Allen is doing what I said last week. He's spreading the ball around. He's winning games. I mean, he's really showing that I'm not what I was before we got Stephon Diggs. There was a lot of pressure on him. And everybody saying that, he wasn't nothing before Stephon Diggs. I believe matter of fact, said it. He wasn't nothing before Stephon Diggs got there, but he's showing that, hey, bro, even with a messed up non-throwing hand, I'm still going to be able to, get the ball to other receivers and stuff like that. And it's hard to, when you lose 2 receivers, your number 1 and your number 2 in the same offseason, that's a little tough. And he's showing that, it's not bothering them much at all. So.
Edward Jackson has a good question. What about the coach from the New York Giants? Think he might get cut during the season? Excuse me. Yeah, I think Dayball's in big trouble, man.
Is he? This is his third season, right?
Yeah, I think he's in big trouble, man. Daniel Jones gonna get that man fired. I think so.
And they just paid him. I would, boy. You talk about how upset I would be if I just paid a guy and I'm fired the next year.
Yeah, I think he's done.
Yeah, bro. I would be 38 hot, man. But yeah, other than that, bro, we literally only got one difference.
That's crazy
on our entire spreadsheet, man. That's me just going out and picking Arizona because I mean, what I saw last game from Kyler Murray and Marvin Harrison Jr. But,
I'm not mad at that pick.
No, guys, we're missing one. Your screen wasn't long enough. My bad. Pause.
My
bad. We had one more. Washington goes to Cincinnati.
Oh man, Cincinnati.
That's
another team got to get off the schneid now. They're 0-2, and I think they may light Washington up, man.
They're 0-2 in the last 3 years.
That's true.
0-2 in the last 3 years.
True.
Game 3, bet the house that the Bengals are going to come in and win Game 3, especially against Washington. You're pissed that you just lost to Pat Mahomes again. And what you call Burrowhead is no longer Burrowhead. You can just call it Arrowhead from here on out.
It's back to Arrowhead again.
Back to Arrowhead. So I think you're now coming in, and you're in Cincinnati too. So I think with Zach Moss. And
it's a rookie quarterback too. Washington is starting a rookie quarterback. So while he's talented, you
got Jesse Bates back there
going up against a solid defense. Trey Hendrickson, rushing the passer.
No, absolutely. So that was the one we missed, Brandon. So I think that was we're still only one difference. That's good. Actually, no, not good. That we need some more diversity. Where's GA?
Hey man, look, it goes how it goes, man. I mean, I swear to y'all, we did not, we did not intend to do this. It just ended up this way. So
I feel sorry for Malik Neighbor, but Malik went off last week.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he had a really good game.
Yeah, Malik went off. Yeah, just get him the ball, man. It's just
no doubt.
Your team sucks. Your quarterback sucks.
All right, so what I'm gonna do now? I'm gonna go ahead and open up the phone lines. If anybody disagreed with our picks or wanted to share something that they thought was pertinent to these week 3 picks, let's do that. Yeah. I put it in the chat. The number is 904-219-8264. 904-219-8264. and it's also scrolling on the bottom of the screen. So we want to hear from you. Let's go.
While we're waiting, guys, first of all, we want to appreciate y'all for hopping in the chat, man. Make sure you guys share the channel, man. Share the page. Get it out to more viewers. We're definitely a growing channel. We're trying to get this thing, popping. Get more sponsors, better equipment, and things like that for us to, boost the channel, man. So we definitely appreciate you guys for being there. But go ahead and share that thing. But last but not least, man, put in your upset. You guys got upset for the week? Let's see what your upset is.
If you got an upset, let's hear that. Put it in the chat. Give us a call, whatever it may be.
Yeah, I want to hear.
Meanwhile, I'm gonna hydrate a little bit.
I'm gonna dehydrate a little bit. It's apple juice, guys, man. Don't trip.
Can't mess with you on that. Get this alkaline water.
Upset of the week. What is it gonna be? That's a good one. Do y'all see the Falcons winning the NFC South or the Bucks or Saints?
Bucks.
No. Yeah, I don't see the Falcons winning the NFC South.
I do not.
Even though I did. I think I want to say that was my pick. I think that was my pick, to win the NFC South. But the Saints just they look nasty. Bucks look good. And I haven't seen many blemishes in the Bucks and Saints yet. I've seen a few blemishes in the Falcons. So, I mean, I don't see him winning it right now. Week 3, it'll tell me a little bit more. Jags over Bills. Upset alert. Laker. My bad, bro.
Okay. All right.
My bad, Laker Nation. I got you, bro. If anybody got you, bro, I got you, bro.
Laker man, you need some help, man.
Laker gang or die, baby. And that way since 96. Pick up sticks. Bills. That's a good one.
Yeah, that's
a possibility, though. Man, Jags are hungry. Bills may get complacent a little bit.
Right.
Lead a game too close. Trevor Lawrence shows up. Yeah, the Jags need it. Nice. So I like that. I like that.
Yeah, they need it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess we're not going to take any calls on that. We go ahead and we'll get to the next topic. And this is one I really enjoyed. If you all know basketball fans right here, go ahead, hit that share button, man. Hit that share button. Let's get them in on this one because this is going to be good. So let me start it this way, right? In probably every generation, we kind of see that whole thing between like the father's generation and the son's generation on which one was better, who's stronger, who's faster, just overall which one is better, right? But I don't think we've ever seen it so much in sports like the way we see it in the NBA, right? And I have my thoughts on why that is. The reason I think that is, right, is because we know for a fact that the NBA changed the rules to make scoring easier. And we know for a fact that today scoring is like in a place it's never been before. We know that the NBA often doesn't call violations on certain plays, carrying carrying and traveling. We see it all the time. Yeah. And so all this allows these players to do these things that are seemingly amazing, right? Yeah. And so you got, guys that are a little older, like my generation, and guys that are older than me. And we're saying, hey, listen, these guys today can play, no doubt about it. But to definitively say they're so much better than the players of the past, which is what we're hearing from the younger guys, we think that's absurd because we're like, they literally made the game easier for you so that you could do the things that you are out here doing, right? Yeah. And so, a lot of people want to disagree with that, blah, 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 right? Yeah, absolutely. New breed sports. The NBA defense is getting worse. Nah, it's been worse. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so we got a lot of that going on. And so, like I said, never in sports have I seen this kind of butting heads to the level that we're seeing it today. We got guys like Anthony Edwards, and we've talked about this ad nauseum, making idiotic statements. And I don't like to call him. I'm not calling him an idiot, but the statement was idiotic.
The statement was idiotic.
To say that Michael
I would just
Jordan
say misinformed.
Player. No, idiotic. No, idiotic.
Uninformed? Okay.
Idiotic.
All right, I like it. Okay.
No, but so he, to say that Michael Jordan was the only player back in the day that had skills, and you're like, wait, what? So uninformed works as well, but also idiotic. But no, in all seriousness, we're hearing constantly, like I have a nephew that's, how old am I? He's 21, he'll be 22 next year. And he's constant, like he told me that if DeMar DeRozan played back in the day, he would be like Michael Jordan, and Michael Jordan would be DeMar DeRozan today. I'm like,
where did he say that?
Yeah, no, he told me that. He's 21. So like, it's like the disrespect is like beyond the pale, right?
Okay.
So I'm like what? Why would you? It's confounding. So anyway, I say all that to say like this generational battle is beyond like anything we've ever seen before, right? And so one of the biggest things we see in terms of that is obviously the GOAT debate, the Michael Jordan and LeBron James, which I've said time and time again, isn't even really a debate. I don't think LeBron is anywhere close to Michael Jordan. And, he has had a tremendous career, but that's not good enough. He wants to control the media. He wants to push the narrative and blah, 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 right? And there are many people out there who will tell you, say again?
Those aren't stats, but okay.
Right. But many people will tell you that he's better than Jordan, and then they'll start throwing stats at you, and I'm like, okay, clearly you don't know what you're talking about if you can only throw stats, right? Because yes, stats are important; they are a numerical representation of what took place on the floor, but they also don't give the whole story, right? They don't have context; they're just numbers. And so when not you being you, but when someone just throws stats, you can see that they're lacking context. They don't understand because maybe they didn't see the earlier eras. They don't know what the situations were. For instance, let's go back to 1990, Michael Jordan's era, right? He's going up against the bad boys, blah, blah, blah. Defense is tougher, so on and so forth, right? Different game. They're not shooting as many threes. So let's say I averaged 30 in 1990. That's incredible, right? But let's say I averaged 30 today. That's a different 30, right? Because guys can't touch you. You're shooting a lot more threes. It's just a totally different ball game. So the 30 and the 30 doesn't necessarily, it looks the same, but it's not the same. And so if you can't apply that context, then you're being misled by stats. So before I go forward, Transformer, your thoughts on what I've said so far.
I mean, you're hitting all the topics. I think when you're making the statement, the game has evolved and it's been better. The rules have changed to influence the better looking game, right?
Right.
For like when it instituted the 3-point line, folks, they couldn't shoot it when it came out. So yeah, we're gonna gripe and complain that these folks couldn't shoot threes, but that's just something that they didn't practice. Like I would need to be able to practice or know what this is to be able to be great at it. And I think, they were like, well, because we can shoot the three better. We can. I mean, they can. I mean, I'm saying we, like I'm in the NBA, but they can shoot the three better. That's because they were taught how to shoot the three at 5, 6, 7, 8 years old. These guys, grown men, had to learn to shoot the three already. So they have to develop something when they're already past a quicker developing stage. When you got, these kids grew up with the 3-point line instituted. So I think you're pretty much on base. When it comes to the evolved talk, that narrative is kind of being swayed a little bit. I saw in the chat the NBA defense is getting worse today. It is. I mean, you call a spade a spade, but the NBA has just been a bad defensive game, and I think that's due to a lot due to the spread. I mean, it's hard to play the game 35 feet out and you can't touch anybody.
Right.
You know what I mean? Point. I got, so at this point, you can't really stack the box. You can't load the box to stop defenders from driving. You can't really put your hands on them to stop them from shooting the three. It's a lot of dribble. James Harden came up with this carry that's now called a Euro. And the Euro changed from a Euro to now from 3 steps to 4 steps. And I think by 2030, it's going to be allowed 5 steps. So I mean, it's just like it's so much that's changing. That's my reason I don't like to compare players from different eras because it's so much that changes. Like if you guys know me all too well, I don't debate GOAT talk anymore. I really don't. The Jordan Bron debate is exhausting because one, they're not even the same type of player. They're not in the same era. You can't put them in the same. You can't put them in a vacuum and make the Miami Heat, LeBron James play against the Chicago Bears. I mean, the Chicago Bulls with Michael Jordan. I can't do that. So because we say that the rules were different. The hand checking was a thing. Defenses were a lot better. So at that point, I can't put LeBron in a vacuum and send him back to 1988. I can't put Jordan 88 mentality and make it a 2024 mentality. So at that point, man, I like to break it up in eras. But you're on base, man. You're on base. It's turned into an era to where subject to change,
right.
man.
No doubt, no doubt.
Yeah.
So this is interesting, right? So we were talking about the kind of the battle of generations, one against the other. So if you look at the thumbnail, we've got on the left Mark Jackson. He's a top 10 assist guy all time, just a legitimate pure point guard from back in the day, right? New York City guy, Queens, New York. And he played for St. John's. He was on that team. I think he was there with Chris Mullin and those guys. Really, really good. I think they went to multiple Final Fours. Anyway, Mark Jackson gets drafted to the hometown New York Knicks, plays for a number of teams throughout his run in the NBA, went to the finals in 2000 with the Pacers, where they got beat by the Lakers. But that was a really good team, and he played really well. Anyway, like I said, he's a top 10 all-time assist guy, Mark Jackson. And next to him is Kenny Smith. If you were a basketball fan, you know him from inside the NBA. And he has a lot to say, another Queens, New York guy. And he has a lot to say. And he's one of those guys, right, that he kind of stands up for the older generation, but he can do it in a way where it's not really dogging the young cats, right? So anyway, I bring up Mark Jackson because he's got a podcast on Mason Cameron's network, and it's called Come and Talk to Me. And he and his son host it. And his son is kind of a guy who really, stands up for this modern era. And Mark Jackson is trying to tell him, like, listen, man, you don't really understand. And Mark Jackson, he played for a long time, so he's not trying to diss these young cats. And remember, he was also a coach, right? He coached young Steph and Clay and these guys and Draymond, right, in Golden State. So he's not trying to diss the young cats, but he's trying to tell them, listen, it was different back then, and the stuff that you're saying is disrespectful, to the old cats or whatever, right? And so, like I said, we know Kenny Smith from inside the NBA, and he's been around basketball a very long time, 2-time champion with the Houston Rockets, so on and so forth, right? And so he was on there because him and Mark Jackson go way back to New York City. They've been friends for, 30, 40 years now, right? 40 years. And so what's interesting here, and this is something I like, first, I have a number of clips from that interview, and I'm gonna play them for you so you guys can kind of get an idea. And so first he talks about his credentials as someone who could talk basketball, right? So check this out. We'll come back and discuss it, and then we'll go down the line for clips, and we'll go from there.
Kenny talks like, sometimes I get this. Kenny talks like he was that guy. I was that guy.
Yeah.
No, I was. And
yeah.
I'm going to say this. If there was a party that everybody who won an NBA championship, I'd be at that party.
Yeah.
Comfortably.
If there was a party where everybody had back-to-back championships, I'd be at that party too.
Yeah.
If there was a party where everybody who won college basketball player of the year, I was basketball player of the year in college basketball, I'd be at that party. If there was a party and they said the best 50 players of high school basketball that ever played, McDonald's All-American sent me a ball, voted me one of the top 30, I'd be at that party too. Yeah. So I've been at a lot of parties.
So I like the way he put that, right? And this is because, I think the way part of this is the media's fault too, like ring culture and all of that, and heavy promotion of individual stats, right? But Kenny Smith has a point here, right? He's like, yo, listen, like, I was that guy, I'm a starter on a back-to-back championship team, I'm freaking All-American in college. I'm player of the year in college. He's one of the 30 best. McDonald's All-America voted him one of the 30 best high school players ever. Like, I knew he was mad nice in high school. I didn't know he was that crazy, right? So anyway, to say this, I love the fact that he's laying out his credentials for you before he starts talking, because he's like, yo, I'm not trying to hear, oh, Kenny, he was a bum. He shouldn't be talking. What are your thoughts on that, man? I like how he did that.
I'm not just no average Joe talking.
Right.
I'm like that.
Yeah.
I'm like that, and that speaks I mean, what he says speaks volume, man. Like, I'm not just some, spectator. I'm not an analyzer. I'm not a, no offense to you, but journalist or anything like that, who's just commenting on a game that I didn't play professionally. No, bro, I've been here, and I've been at a professional level. I've been at a championship level, won a championship,
right?
Played against the greats, played with some greats, and I'm talking legend type greats. You know what I mean? So no, absolutely, man. Kenny's gonna flex.
Yeah, I like how he did that though. I never, people talk like, oh, Kenny thinks he's the guy. I was that guy.
Yeah, no. Kenny the
I thought
Jet,
that was
bro.
really cool.
Like, come on, man.
Nah,
Kenny
hey.
got it. When you get a nickname for a good reason, bro, you
The
did
Jet.
something in the NBA.
Yeah,
Kenny
yeah,
the Jet, bro.
yeah.
You did something.
That's right. That's right. All right. So here's the thing. Remember, I told you a little while ago that my cousin said that if Michael Jordan played today, he'd be DeMar
Okay,
DeRozan.
you can elaborate on it. That's
Right.
what I've been waiting on.
Yeah, so it's weird. It's weird to me. I don't know why. A lot of people seem to make this strange. I don't know if they're deliberately trying to be disrespectful or what, but they make this strange DeMar DeRozan Michael Jordan comparison. I don't know where it comes from, other than DeMar DeRozan is a very good mid-range shooting guard.
shooter.
I don't know, like, where does that come from? It's really, really weird to me, and I'm like, wait, what? So anyway, yeah,
go
my bad.
ahead. I don't know. I'm trying to wrap my head around it.
Yeah, crazy, right? Crazy.
I've never seen a takeover gene like anywhere near Michael Jordan from DeMar DeRozan.
Yeah.
We forget that part of Mike,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Mike had a takeover gene.
Mm-hmm.
DeMar DeRozan doesn't have that takeover gene. Like, hey,
DeMar DeRozan could play. He's had a very good NBA career, but
very good NBA career.
Yeah.
But I just saw his team literally be scared of a man named LeBron James.
Mm-hmm. That's
literally
true.
Get cooked year
That's
by
true.
year by year by year.
That's true.
Have a better record.
That's
Mind
true.
you, Bron had a better record in Cleveland.
That's
So,
true.
like, I'm the number one seed. Yeah, I'm the big bad Toronto Raptors, and
Mhm.
and Bron
Yeah.
literally comes back single-handedly and wipes y'all out.
No, you're right.
Wipes
You're
y'all
right.
off the planet.
You're right.
At that point, I at least say Jordan would make a fighting stance against the Detroit Pistons.
Yeah.
He didn't go down like a chump. I mean, yes, he
Right.
got swept, but the man.
But he came back.
40,
they came back better and better every time until they beat him.
Better and better. You know what I mean? So
Right, right.
yeah.
So my nephew then says that if DeMar DeRozan, who I think we can admit today is slightly above average player, right?
Yeah, I would definitely say that.
Yeah. He would be a superstar. He would be like Jordan back in the day, right? And I'm like, whoa. So there's this prevailing sentiment among younger basketball fans, et cetera, that these guys are so much better athletes and they're so much more skilled today that everybody would be a superstar back in the day, right? And I'm like, where y'all getting this from? So
that's the thing. All right, and I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good. Go ahead, man.
The lack of two things, right? Lack of education and understanding, because we all got these. Right?
Yeah.
We all got these.
Correct.
You can research things. Today's era doesn't like the research to look up anything.
They do not.
Past 2010.
They do not.
You know what I mean? They don't look past that. And I think
that's correct.
That's a huge part of like the Anthony Edwards comment. Like he was like, man, other than Jordan, I mean, it wasn't no athletes back then. Them folks wasn't running a point like me or guarding like me, but there was. We just didn't see it.
That's
and
right.
I think with the lack with that mindset that they're just like, because that comment it baffles me a little bit, bro. Like there's not one part of the game other than just mid-range shooting. I would say that anything was similar from Michael Jordan and DeMar DeRozan.
Yeah,
there's nothing else.
Yeah, it's
his
weird.
Athletic ability. No, Michael Jordan was like his athletic ability was off the planet. You can look that up. You can look that up. You can see that. Those are highlights about that. The takeover gene. There are highlights about that. The shutdown defender. There are highlights about that. Yeah.
No doubt. Yeah.
I
great comment. New Breed, Drexler, Barkley, Grant Hill, Penny will go crazy in today's game. Now you're right. You're absolutely right. All right. So back to that part. So yeah, there's this prevailing sentiment among the younger fans. Matter of fact, not even just the younger fans. I'm gonna tell you what my uncle told me. I was so ashamed when he told me this. He said if Larry Bird played today, he couldn't get off the bench. He would be a bench player. I'm like, what? I'm like, apparently you've never seen Luka Doncic. He's out here killing all these dudes, but Bird couldn't play today. Are we freaking serious right now? And this is a dude that's 12 years older than me. I said, the disrespect is absurd. I can't believe it. But
what was it? Did he give you a reason behind it? Like, what was his purpose of saying Larry Bird to come off the bench?
I gotta believe by saying something like that, he was just trying to antagonize me. I can't imagine any other reason an intelligent person whose brain works properly would say something like that.
Yeah,
I can't.
I do give the Celtics a whole lot of crap, but there's one Celtic I will forever respect, and that man's name is Larry Bird. Greatest white man ever touch a basketball. That's what I'm
bad dude. Bad dude.
I mean, Jokic and these guys can do what they want. Larry Bird will walk when he walked to the locker room and said, "Which one of y'all coming in second?" Yeah, that's enough for me. And we can go out there and win it.
Facts. Tell them and then go do it. That's the crazy.
Tell them and they're gonna do it. Which one of y'all come in second, man? I ain't got time for all this. When the man literally told y'all he was gonna shoot the ball and shoot the game left-handed. I'm shooting left-handed today.
Yeah.
And drop.
I'm saving my right hand for the Lakers.
What was it?
Yeah. I think it was a 40-point triple-double, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Bro.
But and he played most of the game left.
It's because he was saving his hand.
He's saving his right hand for the Lakers. Yeah. Yeah, there was another game.
Your ass doing this.
There was a game that I think Magic was hurt, and so Bird gets there and Magic is sitting on the bench. Don't worry, Irvin, I'm gonna put on a show for you today. And he went off on him. He went off.
I got you, bro. I got you.
Yeah, and that's the same thing Magic would do too. So it's all good.
Oh, absolutely. Bird on the bench. He's like, hey man,
I got you. Watch this. Showtime.
I got you.
I love it. Yeah, man. But yeah, so it's crazy. So the disrespect and the belief that average players today would be superstars back then. So here's what Kenny Smith had to say about that. So all these clips again are from Mark Jackson's Come and Talk to Me podcast. And so his son was there and he couldn't believe it. But here's what Kenny Smith had to say about that.
Yep. Because you can shoot the ball from half court and it goes in doesn't make you an impactful player. It doesn't. And there are certain guys that can translate in each era, for sure. But there are guys who are average players that think that they would have translated to be great players, and it's insane. It's insane.
And he's right about that. But what I will say, the average players from back then. For some
reason, I couldn't hear it. So
you couldn't.
Yeah, I couldn't hear it.
Let's see if we get. My bad. I heard it. Let's see.
Because you can shoot the ball from half court and it goes in doesn't make you an impactful player. It doesn't. And there are certain guys that can translate in each era, for sure. But there are guys who are average players that think that they would have translated to be great players, and it's insane. It's insane.
Okay. Yeah, I got you. I can hear it that time.
So I'll tell you, I agree with him on that, and the reason why. I think that the average players or the above average players from back then would be even better today, but not vice versa. And the reason I say that is because, again, the way the game was called back then and the physicality, it's a much more difficult learning curve to go back to that versus to come into a game where you could pretty much do whatever you want. Like, what? They gonna let me do this? They gonna let me do that? What?
Yeah.
I can go down the paint. I'm not getting. Oh my goodness! One of the people I like to point out is Mark Price. If Mark Price played today, he would be killing. He was 50, 40, 90 back then. He was a pure point guard that could shoot it, that could defend, that could score. That could pass.
But you know a player I think that he's hinting at.
Mm-hmm.
Trae Young.
Yeah, Trae Young would. Yeah, he would have a really hard time back then. Coaches would not be letting him pull up from 30.
You're not pulling up from 30.
Yeah, and he doesn't defend.
You can't defend.
That's
You're
right.
So small.
Mm-hmm.
You drive in the paint with the same floater.
Right.
That the hand check will take him out. He will be taken out of the. I don't think he would make the court.
Yeah, I think he'd be irrelevant. Yeah,
he plays a small man's game. Like Curry has a dribble to kind of get around you because he could face you square up.
Mm-hmm.
Trae doesn't.
So Muggsy was small. He was 5'3", but he was strong.
He was a bully. Tough. Yeah, he was a bully.
Yeah, same thing with Spud Webb. So that's the difference. But I'm glad you brought up hand checking because this was something else that Kenny Smith talked about. For those of y'all, man, who really want to, you got to watch this whole interview. It's really, really good. It actually got split into 2 parts because I guess they were talking about a whole lot of stuff, but it was a really good interview. And so I just have the clip here. You're going to hear the sound, but if you watch the interview, you will actually see him demonstrating how hand checking can affect you as a ball handler. But check this out, and then we'll come back and talk about it.
He's hand checking me. Because he's hand checking, I have to turn this way.
Yeah.
Without the hand check, I can face up here. Now I become a better passer because I have my peripheral is now at 75 degrees, where here it's at 50.
Yeah.
I'm a better passer because I can see more. I'm a better ball handler because I can play with it. You can't touch me. I'm a better shooter because now my feet are squared up to the rim. Here, I have to turn, and you can see me turn.
Yeah.
Now I can, hey. And I can,
All right. You still moving.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay. All right, that was nice.
There, boy.
That was nice. Yeah.
without the hand check, it makes, and when people, and this is no disrespect, because these guys are great ball handlers, Steph, Kyrie, and all those great, unbelievable. But it makes them better. James Harden, it makes you a better ball handler because you're playing with the ball and no one's touching you. So now the stuff that you do in the playground that we grew up doing in the playground, that's the stuff you could actually do in a game now. If you went to a playground game and saw Mark Jackson, you saw myself, you saw Kenny Anderson, you saw Shamgard, you saw all these guys from the eras that we come in. Skip, you'd be like, what the heck? Oh my. But when you get in the NBA, you can't face up.
So that's another thing I've been telling younger cats all the time. And again, if you want to see what he was doing, he was actually demonstrating the difference between having to bring the ball down kind of with your back to the defender because of the hand check versus, being able to face up because the defender can't touch you in the modern NBA. So of course, if I have a full field of vision because I'm faced up already, it makes me a superior. Well, it makes me a better passer because I can see more, right? So I may rack up better numbers or find cutters more easily, et cetera, right? Or I'm faced up so I can pull up right there versus you having time to react to me because my back was towards you. Now I have to pivot in order to face up and shoot, right? So it's a lot of things that he was talking about that really makes a lot of sense in terms of the effect that hand checking had on guards back then. Go ahead.
Did he have to say it?
Yes, he did have to say it because you got all these people who are so quick to talk about how today's ball handlers are so much better, right? And it's just not true, right?
No. I'm sorry. Not to throw you off your talk right there. Not that. Go back and just take the same guy or just go out there on the court. You guys are players. We're players, right? We all played some type of street ball at some point in time, right? Go out there and apply hand checking to a game and see the difference. You know what I mean? Like, did he have to say that? That's the problem I have. You know what I mean? Like, can we go back and be like, okay, take the same metric of hand check, take the hand check rule and apply it. And let's see if you just tell you're in the off season and you're doing your drills, right? And you're like, hey man, you playing the hand checking there, right? Yeah, I did. Hey man, hand check me real quick. Let's see if I can get these dribbles off. And you see how hard it is. You're like, God, I can't get around them. I can't get past them. What's going on? Like, you can learn that. You can understand that because it's applied to you. That's what I'm saying. Like, before we just get off on these dumb tangents, like, we don't know what a hand checking is, ball handling and stuff like that. Like, okay, well, go in the off season, apply the hand checking rule, and see if you can do it still. If you can do it still, then you got spec. And that's not taking away that these guys are very great ball handlers.
Exactly.
But you're allowed to develop that because the hand check rule was taken away so long ago.
Right. And think about the other thing, right? Think about the other thing. So he's talking, remember, this is a New York City guy, right? And New York City used to, produce some of the best guards in the country, like New York, Philly, DC, right? Baltimore, those spots really produced a lot of great guards. Chicago, right? Gritty playground type dudes. And all those dudes' handles were crazy. But back then, when you came into the league or you started playing organized ball, like Division I college ball, or you got into the league, coaches would tell you, leave all that stuff on the playground. Don't play with the ball. These defenders are going to take it from you, right? And so now they're looking back and they're saying, oh, man, them dudes back then couldn't handle the ball. No, they weren't allowed to carry. They weren't allowed to travel, and they weren't allowed to play with the ball because those defenders, they were hand check you with one hand and then reach around you and poke the ball out with the other one, right?
And
so
they couldn't do a dribble step, but then the gather step doesn't count. I can take two more steps and I can let off a jump shot. I still don't understand it.
Yeah, and then think about
even in 2K. Man, I'd be playing 2K. I'd be like, bro, that's a wow. Why is the whistle not being blown? Bro, that's not a travel no more. Like,
real talk. They put the gather step in to allow these guys to travel. It's all BS. You gotta push the narrative.
The James Harden way, bro.
Yeah. But
it's a travel, bro. It's a travel.
Yeah, no doubt. But yeah, so I love Kenny really breaking that down. And so what he's getting to in this whole thing is he's getting to a more in-depth breakdown of why Michael Jordan is the most complete basketball player who's ever played, right? So he gets to that. And he's going to talk about this. Now, this particular clip is longer, so bear with me, but he's going to drop a lot of science in this one. So just, chill and listen to this, and then we'll come back, give our thoughts, and kind of wrap it up with some calls from you guys, and then we'll call it a night. But this one is longer, so just bear with us.
Michael Jordan was the most complete basketball player that's ever lived. Complete. Like Kareem was just as effective. Certain people could be, LeBron at times could be just as effective. But the most complete basketball player that ever lived is Michael Jordan. Completeness.
Preach.
So like his ability to do every aspect of basketball at the highest level. And I think that came from going to college. Because in college, the best...
I'm glad you're talking. I say that when he got to the pros, he had no weaknesses.
He had no weaknesses. Because what happens is, what college does, the best coaches are in college basketball. Because there's more. The best ones are there. So they design defenses and offenses that are different from the NBA. So you learn how to play against a zone defense. You learn how to play against a man-to-man, 1-3-1, 2-1-2. Different defenses. NBA is just strict man-to-man. But your philosophies and thought process is from a totality of all of those defenses. Yeah. So now the game is easier for you, and you're much more easier. What I always say about Michael, what's different between even the great Kobe Bryant and great LeBron James is he was still the most fundamental basketball player. Like LeBron's IQ is crazy, but the most fundamental, when you watch LeBron, you don't always say he's most fundamental. Yeah. So correct hand in the passing lane. But that was Michael. He was the best athlete and the most fundamental because he went to college for 3 years and developed certain things, Even I was laughing with my son. He goes, "Oh, I saw you dunking in the league, but you like 3 years of it." I'm like, because I had 4 in college. Yeah. I would have never stayed in college for 4 years in today. I was first team All-American. I would have been on a draft board. Yeah. So I would have never stayed. It was wrong to leave. Like then it was called hardship. Like it almost meant you were broke. Like, and your family was destitute if you went to the NBA instead of going to college before. That was the stigma that they had on us. So we would everybody, I ain't going to college. I ain't leaving college yet. I ain't broke. I ain't like that. I ain't one of them dudes. Yeah. So you stay. So I had 4 years where I'm jumping from the free throw line. That was in college. Then I caught 2 or 3 years in there, so 7 years. So I'm like, you just missed my most athletic years. Yeah. It was some of them were in college. Yeah. Michael Jordan, those 3 years in college. Imagine he only went 1 year. Oh, my God. Or none. Michael Jordan, most complete basketball player. Y'all average dudes would have been average. Y'all would have been average. You wouldn't have been great. You would not have been. You're a specialist. You might not have been in the league.
There are people that believe, as crazy as it sounds, I've heard this, and I'm sure you've heard it, that there's a dude in prison or a dude in the streets that was better than Michael Jordan, just didn't get an opportunity. There's people that believe that.
Listen, man. That's like saying there's a dude in prison that could have done what Steve Jobs done.
It's not my opinion.
I didn't say you. I said
Michael Jordan
heard that argument.
I've heard that before.
He's the Bill Gates, the Steve Jobs of basketball. Yeah. Is there a guy, if he's there, I hope he gets out. But that guy...
It depends on what he did.
Depending on what he did, I hope he gets out. I hope it was like a Mr. Beast. Because, that's what it would have been like. Yeah, I hope he gets out. Yeah. Because that dude, I don't know where he is. There's no one like that. He is the most complete basketball player. And then there's 2. There's 2. Yeah. Most effective, like LeBron James is effective. He can impact the game. You know that, but... I just don't think defensively is where that's the separation to me.
So I think he had some really good stuff to say there. I like the way he lays his argument out, right? And
I think it's fair.
Yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense, and he does it in a way that I think is really cool because he doesn't insult the new guys. He just says, "Yo, like this is what it is," and That said, a lot of the new guys, if you don't worship them, they think you're insulting them. So I don't know. They become insulted. So I don't know. But I really like the way Kenny laid that out. And I do believe Michael Jordan was the most complete player of all time. I think the second most complete player of all time is probably either Kobe or Olajuwon. Like I do. Yeah, it was good, man. What stuck out to you about what Kenny Smith had to say there?
What really did is that he said the guy in prison, he's Steve Jobs.
So. Yeah.
Steve Jobs be in prison.
Yeah,
he can be Bill Gates. We in prison. He was like, maybe when he gets out, he can prove it. It depends on what he did.
I know.
Hey, that was a great way to end that one, man. But I mean, from a developmental standpoint, he said that there was ways you were developed, but like at this point, Kenny needs to understand they didn't institutionalize the AAU part of ball until after he was gone. And I think once the AAU started becoming a big thing, because now we're training these kids from middle school and high school level, and we're kind of we started putting cameras in their faces and we're putting them on the media. At this point, it became more of a, you guys can see on film, on video, because we all got these, right?
Yeah.
How good I am, right? I'm going to go to college. I only need 1 year in college. Why? Because you guys seen on film how good I am against other high school average Joes who are probably 90% of them are going to go get regular jobs after they graduate high school. And then after they graduate college, they're going to go get regular jobs. Now, all this video, I need to be able to see that in NBA. So now these GMs, general managers, and league owners, they're like, oh man, that guy was the biggest talent in high school. Get him. Why? Dollars. GM, hey, that guy was the biggest talent in high school. Why? Because I saw it on YouTube. He was dribbling those kids crazy. Like that takes away the developmental standpoint. So now, instead of 3-4 years in college, 1 year is all you need.
You know what's crazy about that?
Gotta do 1 year.
What's crazy about that is now if you stay 4 years, like the scouts look as a knock on you, instead of saying you took the time, you finished your degree, and you became more developed as a basketball player. They're like, if he was good, he would have came out already. What's going on? And I'm like, that's crazy to me.
We just drafted that guy. Connect. Connect 4. We call him Connect 4. Connect 4. He played all 4 years. But he fell. He dropped in the draft because everybody was like, I mean, he's a little old. He's 22 already.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah.
LeBron James 40.
Right.
But at this point, I mean, we doing all averages. Cut 40 to 26, put that in half. I mean, at least he's gonna be able to play till he's 32 or something, bro. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Like
it's a whole different world, man. But yeah, it's so I think Kenny Smith did kill the GOAT debate here, because again, like I always say, I don't think there is a debate, but I think he killed it, but he killed it with kindness, because he didn't really attack. He didn't go all the way in attack mode the way he could have, but he said and demonstrated a lot of things that showed like it's not quite what you think. You know what I'm saying? And I thought that was pretty cool how he presented it. Now will a lot of people from this generation hear and internalize that and really listen? I don't think so.
Oh no, that's not your question. Never mind.
Yeah. I don't think they will, but I do like the way he presented it.
Yeah, I think this generation is going to justify that. Kenny, it's 2024. My bad that we grew up in this era. That's what we know. That's what the game evolved to. I can't go back and play in the 80s and 90s to impress you or say that I'm the better player. That's why when Jordan said it, we should have all agreed. You guys all agree that majority agrees that Jordan is the GOAT, right? The GOAT told you. Like, I don't know why y'all compare, like calling me the GOAT, because I mean, honestly,
I can't go back and compete against those guys.
I can't go back and compete against those guys.
That's right.
So if he was like y'all say I'm the GOAT because I got 6 rings. He was like, but Bill Russell got 11.
He did say that.
He's better than me, right? Okay. Did I play with? I never played against Bill Russell. Never even saw him on the court in the same breath. I wasn't even the same breath as Bill Russell.
That's right.
When he was in his prime. So he was like, you guys bringing in these new accounts, like, okay, he got a chance to be the GOAT of his time, yes. But I was the best of my time. I can say I'm the best of my time. Bill Russell was the best of his time.
Right.
Kobe was the best, like his time in the league.
Right.
That's all you can compare the play to, the style to, the rules to, the era to. Who knows what these kids could have been if they grew up with the 80s mentality, 90s direction, and hustle and grind and grit with their athleticism. Who knows what they could have been? So I can't dignify everything Kenny's saying just because of that. Like, yes, he's saying why his era is great and his era is greater. That's in his right. But that shouldn't be able to. You shouldn't be able to take that away from these kids. Because it's not their fault.
It's not their fault.
I grew up in that era. Blame the commissioner, league owners, and people who make the rule book. Blame them.
No, so I get that. But the only thing, and this is something I've always said, no, it's not their fault when they're born. They can only play against who they play against and under the rules that are in place when they play. Yeah. That said, at the end of the day, if we know for a fact that the game is easier now, we know that for a fact. That's not an opinion. We know the game is easier now. How can you look at the guys that came before you and paved the way for you to get all this bread and all this notoriety and all that and say, yo, we're better than you and the game is better than it was when you played? Like that, that's the part that kills me.
Yeah.
So, you know.
I agree with that. I mean, I got nothing to say about that because at that point, now you're picking the reason why they should talk about your era and why Kenny Smith needs to go out and tell you guys things that obviously we're forgotten, like things like the hand checking was taken away. Things like, hey, 3-4 years in college, that's gone. AAU wasn't a thing. Defense was able to play defense. The 3-point line wasn't institutionalized until we got there, and we were like, oh crap, we got to learn how to shoot the 3-point shot. GMing was different. You wasn't able to jump from team to team. You wasn't able to, kind of put your career in your own hands. This is kind of like the player movement era. Back then, you crippled if you got drafted by the Wizards. I mean, you're stuck with the Wizards. I'm sorry. I mean, you can't force your way out. There's no way out of that contract. So everything's different. Like I said, the mentality of guys. I meet a lot of old brothers, old fellas, because I have more of an old soul myself that grew up in the 80s and the 70s. And they always say, man, these 90s babies, boy, they crazy, man. They young. They don't know what they're doing. I'd be like, yo, chill. I was born in 1990. They're like, yo, for real? Boy, you don't act like them young bucks, boy. I promise you don't act like them young bucks. And I'm like, well, I was conceived in the 80s, so that's why I'm claiming the 80s. But like the mindset of the newer generation is just completely different. So I can't be able to dignify and put a GOAT debate or a comparison, a direct line comparison, because when I want to compare stuff, I have to have an even playing field. Yeah, apples to apples. I got you. Scientists only judge the difference between something if it's on an even scale. That's how they found out what thing is better. If I can't put you on an even scale, I can't tell you who's better. I can't tell you Bron was better than Jordan because of this. I can't tell you Jordan was better than Bron because of this. They didn't play at the same time.
No, I hear what you're saying. No. That's legit though.
You know what I'm saying? Like me being real, like I can't judge that. Who knows if Bron, the way athletic as he is, if he learned the grime and grit way, that he probably would have learned it and came out a different player. Who knows if Jordan wasn't born in the grime and grit way, he was born in the social media era, that he just turned out to be just another DeMar DeRozan, like your nephew said. You know what I mean? So, I don't know, man. So that's why I mean I like what Kenny said, man. I like the perspective. Yeah, I like what he said a lot too. But, it's good stuff. It goes back to why we should break it down by era and just leave it at that. I'm with you. I've always said that. So you want to open up these phone lines, see if we got anything? Yeah. All right, let's do that. So let's go ahead and I'm going to put the number in the chat, 904-219-8264. And it's scrolling on the bottom of the screen. At this point, we'd love to hear from you before we go ahead and end the show for tonight. What were your thoughts on what Kenny Smith had to say? What were your thoughts on what I had to say? What are your thoughts on what Transformer had to say? GOAT debate, era comparison in the NBA. What are your thoughts? Let's get it. Yeah. I tell you what, they sat back and listened in that chat. They was like, you know what, man? Kenny dropping jewels. Well, they probably just exhausted, man. Like, bro, man, we go to debate again. I did like, and I'm gonna shout out opinion stated here. I did like he posted earlier that man just tired. He's like, bro, it's just I get that too. It's getting a little bit more childish. than it is us just appreciating the player. Like
No
we're
doubt,
so
no
willing, and I'm saying this both ways. I'm not finna
No, I get it.
but we try so hard to say why Jordan's the greatest that we find every way to look at LeBron and be like, yeah, nah, he did this. That's why he a bum and blah 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 blah. Vice versa, this new era who didn't see Jordan, like man, Jordan. I mean, LeBron is the greatest. Why? Because I mean, Jordan played against plumbers. Blah 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 blah. We're so busy, like we're demonetizing what these guys are doing as players when honestly we should just respect what they did for the game of basketball. These guys were at the top of their game for well beyond the greatest years of their career. And they're kind of setting the tone and they're etched in history. And I think with all the GOAT debating, we're finding ways to now disrespect the opposing players and not just accept the greatness that's in front of us, when we're watching the game. So that's just me. That's me. And I like what Opinion Stated, put on this podcast. So shout out Opinion Stated, man. That was dope.
Yeah. And if you all want some more good sports content, man, check out Opinion Stated. Good show. Go ahead and subscribe to that young man's channel. He's got some good stuff there. I was binge watching some of his stuff yesterday.
Yeah. No, I definitely chimed in. And by the way, I'm not from Baltimore. He thinks we're all from Baltimore.
No, I told him you're not from B-More. I told him that.
Oh, because when I was watching this show, he was like, "Yeah, man, I think they're all from Baltimore."
Yeah,
and I felt like he was live, so I tried to
let him know. I'll let him know.
Like, bro, I have nowhere near. I've never even been to Baltimore.
Yeah, he was born in DC. I was born in DC also. So.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
So that was interesting. Yeah.
That's nice. That's dope.
Yeah. Well, I guess we're not gonna have any calls on this one. I expected to hear some pushback or some agreement on this, but all right. So we're gonna leave it right here, man. So everybody who came in the show, came in the chat and hung with us for a couple hours, I appreciate it, man. Thanks so much for coming by. Remember, that share button is powerful, man. Please, on the way out, if you haven't already, hit that like and subscribe button and hit the share button, man. Let more people know about this show and this channel. We are working hard to bring quality content, and I got some more stuff coming down the pipe for you all as well. So, yeah. And Saturday night, you on Saturday night, right, Chancellor?
Yep. Me and G gonna hold it down. Hopefully,
all right, yeah. So
the internet doesn't go down. If not, if I have to run a show by myself, boy, be prepared because the show is gonna feature nothing but the Lake Show, baby. Yeah,
that's all good. That's all good. So yeah, G and Transformer they're gonna hold the show down Saturday night. Meanwhile, I will be in South Bend, Indiana, under the Golden Dome and Touchdown Jesus, watching.
Who y'all playing again for the chat?
Irish. Miami of Ohio should be an easy win. Should be.
Okay, I was about to say.
Right. Yeah. We
before that should have been.
Yeah, I was about to say we sometimes have problems with wins that should be easy. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. So anyway,
but man, you gotta go out there and do great, man. Good luck. Safe travels for you, Bruce.
Appreciate that.
We're praying that you land safe, you get back home safe, all 10 toes, 10 fingers. And go Irish, man. I mean, I'm not a biased type
appreciate
of fan.
That.
Go Irish, man.
That's love. Yeah. But probably I got to get with Ryan, but we probably should have a college football show tomorrow night as well. And I might have something else before I roll out, so we'll see. But yeah, so Saturday night, check back in, and if you subscribed already, make sure you hit that notification bell so man, because sometimes I just wake up and I do some stuff. So
y'all better chime in, because when it's just me hosting this thing, boy. Last time G said, boy, we might, Bruce might lose his page. He put wrong two brothers in charge. It's gonna be a great time, man. So definitely tune in Saturday, man. Yes. We're gonna let Bruce go and enjoy the game. Go Irish once again. They're gonna beat the crap out of Miami, Ohio, and me and G gonna be holding it down, man. We're gonna have some fun, guys. So definitely tune in.
All right, y'all, and we out. Peace.